out onto the surface here at Rugby Park as night falls on East Ayrshire. Fabulous Mirren contingent has travelled down off to the left. The Kilmarnock fans here in numbers as well. Which of these sides will be the first through to the draw for the League Cup semi-finals? We will be finding out over the course of the next 90 minutes, perhaps 120 minutes, and perhaps even penalties as well. We shall find out in the company of Alan Preston, Stephen Thompson and Thomas Duncan.
Thanks, Liam. Premier Sports Cup quarter-final weekend. Every game dripping with meaning, storylines, tension, and a place at Hampden at stake. And it all starts here at Rugby Park. The 2012 winners, Kilmarnock, up against the 2013 winners, St Mirren. Between them, they've reached Hampden Park for Cup semi-finals just 3 times since those respective triumphs. Occasions like this do not come around too often. Opportunities like these don't come around too often, particularly with Rangers in the mire and Celtic with a few issues of their own. It feels like an open competition for all of the final 8 sides. Kilmarnock and St Mirren with just 1 defeat each this season in their 10 games, both against Celtic, both very tight and late losses. St Mirren on the opening day of the league season at Celtic Park denied a point, and then of course controversially here on Sunday, Kelechi Iheanacho's late penalty denying Kilmarnock the same. 5 draws each already this season. Similar teams, similar styles, managers who have gone up against each other 7 times recently, when Stuart Kettlewell was at Motherwell and Stephen Robinson at St Mirren. It's 3-2 in Kettlewell's favour, but they have never been decided by more than 1 goal. Everything points to a closely fought, absorbing, intriguing contest here tonight, but will it transpire that way? We're about to find out. 1 change for each side from the weekend's results. Marcus Fraser injured for St Mirren, a rare miss. He started 97 of the last 98 St Mirren games. He drops out for Richard King. Greg Kilty in against the club he's just left for Rory McKenzie for Kilmarnock, and we are underway as Shamal George, the St Mirren goalkeeper, plays for territory, and it goes out for a throw-in out on the far side. And I guess that is potentially the kind of cagey opening we might be expecting, Stephen Thompson. Both teams feeling each other out.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. You see that more and more often now, sometimes straight from the kick-off, players just kicking straight into touch. What's the point? Just giving the ball away.
It's like a rugby tactic, playing for, it's almost so you can get the press on straight away. But here comes David Watson for Kilmarnock up towards the St Mirren box. A good recovery from Richard King, and then he shields it out. And David Watson thinks it's a corner, but the far side linesman signals for a goal kick. And Shamal George and over 2,000 St Mirren fans behind that goal. Fantastic support.
Honestly, I've just about to say that's the biggest away support I've seen from St Mirren. Brilliant, really good Friday night. Not far to come, mind, but still really good away support.
Yeah, and I guess it kind of indicates the mood around the club in recent seasons with the top 6 finishes, European football. The only thing kind of missing on Stephen Robinson's CV is maybe getting that cup final, a trophy perhaps, as it goes up to Mandron, nods it to Jayden Richardson, moving towards the edge of the Kilmarnock box, and he's drinking infield, dispossessed by Greg Kilty, and now it's Dom Thompson. He's given it carelessly away to Bacchus, who gives it to Phillips, right hand side of the box, and he's curled in a ball to the back post, and Ayunga gets there and he puts it into the side netting, and that is a warning shot for Kilmarnock, giving the ball away in their own half, and a good chance for St Mirren there.
Yeah, it was poor from Thompson in the left back area, gifts it, and it Phillips with the ball into the back post. It was just on this stretch. Was Ayunga at the back post, tried his very best to divert it back towards the goal, but he couldn't really get anything on it, hits the side netting. But yeah, bright start from St Mirren.
Really poor from Thompson, plays the pass blind, like 30 yards from his own goal. Really poor play.
And it's a chance here for Greg Kilty, edge of the box, lets fly, it's straight at George, who put the wrist down and it deflected up off them, and he was under, or he had enough time rather to kind of just regather it. But intense start from both sides, chances early on.
That was brilliant, really good play. Gets a break of the ball. Gogic, I think he tries to foul Dackers, is it? And he goes to Kilty, and Kilty's through, and he's done the right thing. Could he have taken it further? On a little bit
I
further,
think one more touch, another yard, and break into the box. He's a good finisher at times, this Kilty, and he chose to hit it from about 18-19 yards and straight at the goalkeeper.
Yeah, of course, came through the academy here at Kilmarnock, back for another spell after a few years with St Mirren, successful years as well. Here's Richard King, the Jamaica international. He's played it into the box, a great ball for Ayunga, who's come across. He's just at the byline, moving towards the touchline now, tries to squeeze a pass back up the line, but Dom Thompson is there and clears it, flicked on by the giant striker. Dakar's 2 metres tall.
Thomas, what you're going to see with Gogic won't challenge him. He'll just stand his ground and hold him, that he doesn't be able to, not allowed to bring the ball down. Lovely little nutmeg there, but Gogic has got no chance in there. But he's such a clever defender, Gogic.
Well, that's classy from King. Put the nutmeg in, and then he gets the ball back and gets St Mirren moving. O'Hara now passes it out to Declan John on the far side. And then pass to Phillips on the edge of the box. He's trying to work space. He's crowded out, and that's a good challenge in from David Watson. And it's run out for St Mirren, throw in by Dakar's just around about halfway. But Richard King in for Marcus Fraser. Fair to say they're different types of players. King was unlucky not to score at the weekend against Falkirk, up on the edge of the box. He takes penalties as well. He's technically looks
What
very
you're trying
good.
to say that Marcus isn't technically good?
No, I'm just trying to say that Marcus Fraser perhaps brings more defensive solidity. But
I'm only joking. Yeah, Marcus obviously is Mr. Reliable for St Mirren, and a very good defender, good in one-on-one situations, great at winning fouls, pretending to dive to get the foul. He's an absolute genius at that. But yeah, Richard King is different, and as you saw there, got a wee bit of technical ability.
It's great to see both managers. You like to get the mileage on the managers during 90 minutes. The two of them,
They're unreal.
they do not stand still.
and get the GPSs on. It's been intense, a chance apiece, but no goals here at Rugby Park, as it's slipped to Jaden Richardson. He's quite far infield, checks back, gives it to Richard King, who puts a pass right out to Declan John, left hand side, drives it infield, then back to the captain O'Hara, looks up, plays it into the box, it's flicked on, it bounces in the 6-yard box and into the arms of Matt Stryak, the Killie keeper. St Mirren looking to get that ball into the penalty area. Both sides playing with two physical strikers as King wins that at the back for St Mirren. And then it's on to Freckleton, left centre half, looks up, slides it across to King. It's almost like they're looking to him to playmate from deep, almost quarterback like, but it's Gogic who does it this time. Big switch of play out to Declan John, who touches it inside and away from one, and then David Watson is in front of him, but John manages to lay it off to O'Hara. Another cross comes in towards Mandron, touch from the defender, and it's dangerous here, and it's Richardson lays it across, and no one's there in a black and red jersey. What a delivery, just begging for someone to step on and hit that, but no one read it, and it's behind for a corner.
The initial cross-in's brilliant from O'Hara. Causes absolute panic in the Killie defence. Should have cleared it, struggled to clear it, eventually falls to Richardson, flashes it right across the face, but both Mandron and Ayunga had cut out to the 6-yard box. None had followed into the centre of the goal.
And they're looking for Declan John to get in at the back
post, possibly.
Corner is short, now it comes in, and it's a run across from Gogic, and then now it's King, back to goal towards the edge of the box. Phillips with a pass into the area. It's half cleared, only as far as O'Hara. He passes it out, and then it's all the way back with Jaden Richardson on halfway. Now Gogic. St Mirren with the upper hand in the last few minutes. We've played 6, and it is goalless. Good sliding challenge there from Lewis Mayo. Kilmarnock win it back as St Mirren played it up, and now they'll play out through Thompson, the left wing back, moving up towards halfway, but he stops, plays it infield to David Watson. Thumping header against Celtic here on Sunday. As it goes long, Gogic wins it. Immediately O'Hara's under pressure, but he's fouled by Liam Polworth, and it'll be a little lull in the game after a frantic last couple of minutes. Goalless though.
Yeah, it's been a good 3-4 minutes for St Mirren. A lot of pressure, a lot of balls into the box. You know what you're going to get from St Mirren. That's what they try and do, get the ball forward quickly and get deliveries into the box. Killie again, much like St Mirren, they're going long, looking for Dakars it was, and Gogic, as Alan said, just standing up to him when the ball breaks. Polworth just a wee bit too keen and late to pick up the second ball. And
it's a battle of the wing backs. Who can get their opposition further back the park? You can see it at the moment, Richardson against Thompson on one side. Thompson's struggling to get up the park. Richardson's been forward at will, and he's in at the back post here.
Cross comes in, it's deep, and Richardson was round the back, where the goalkeeper Stryak does well and claims it pretty convincingly in that short sleeved, rather jazzy Killie goalkeeping kit. And rolls it out And it's forwards into Polworth. Takes a touch and flicks it to Kilty, back to goal, and plays it back to
He's done it
Thompson,
again.
and he's given it away, and it's pinched by St Mirren. Now it's with Mandron, goes for goal, and it looked like a good save in the end from Stryek. It was. Tips it round the post, low shot, was creeping towards the bottom corner, but for the Kilmarnock goalkeeper.
That's criminal from Thompson. Twice he's done it. He's 30 yards from his goal, and he plays it inside blind. He doesn't know what's there, and he gives it away, and it's a shot for St Mirren. Good save. Keeper's clearly got a touch for a corner. But Thompson, play it safe, play down the line. Don't play it in when you don't know what you're doing.
And he was at Motherwell last season for the second half of the season, so he knows what St Mirren are like.
Kettlewell signed him.
Yeah, in terms of their pressure in the opponent's half. Corner now, swung on the left boot to the near post, and it's flipped behind. And it's another St Mirren corner. It's them on the far side. Oh, Kilmarnock showed what a threat they are from set pieces at the weekend. So getting that goal from David Watson and causing a bit of havoc in the Celtic box generally, but it's St Mirren who are getting the opportunities here. With Bacchus over on the far side, steps back, arm in the air, and Gogic weaving in there, trying to free himself up, and it goes right on top of the goalkeeper. Poor delivery, and Stryek catches it and then launches it out towards Kilty. He's on the halfway line, he's found him, and then Kilty looks up, drops it over the top for David Watson, who just always seems to be everywhere. Some engine on him, and Richardson kind of dilly-dallies. He's under pressure from Daniels, but he's going to go behind for the goal kick, and neither side giving the other a second on the ball here.
No, you'd expect that. Both really competitive, especially in the middle of the pitch, but it was a really good throw from Stryek out to Greg Kilty, who picked up a wee pocket of space, gets turned. He just couldn't quite get the purchase on the ball. He was trying to play it over the top. O'Hara had got back into an area and managed to clear the danger, and then Richardson, you're right, just had a wee bit casual on the ball. 2 seconds too many on it, and he was closed down by Dackers, but thankfully it never came to anything.
Yeah, we've played 10 minutes, and if you haven't understood now, you're just not going to get time on the ball then. Need to learn quickly. Thompson as well, and that's nice in the middle of the pitch from St Mirren. Declan John, and then Phillips, and now it's out to O'Hara on the far side. Comes inside the pitch. Now it's Bacchus. O'Hara, first time pass for King, halfway up Kilmarnock's half, and gives it out to Richardson. He's not able to go on the outside, dribbles in the pitch and lays it back to Gogic on halfway. Gogic to King and back to Gogic, and then plays it up into the air towards the edge of the box, won by Thompson. Drops to Killian Phillips though. Pass into the feet of Richardson. He's done brilliantly to let that run across him. Gets the better of Thompson. Ball into the middle, and a glancing header from Mandron. And should he have done better there? The striker, St Mirren again causing problems.
Yeah, we're talking about wing backs here again. Against wing backs, Richardson, he's got Thompson all over the place. He's beating him for fun. It's a wonderful ball in. The flick header just wide of the target. But that has to be the out ball for St Mirren. Right wing back, taking on Dom Thompson, getting to bylines, getting crosses in.
Thompson's had a torrid 10 minutes. Not the first time I've heard that. But to be fair, normally with Richardson, he gets into these areas and sometimes his delivery just isn't good enough, the final thing that he does. But that cross was inch perfect for Mandron. I wonder if it was just a wee fraction too high. He didn't quite manage.
It's given away at the back by King. And now it's Daniels on it, looks up, lays it into the box. Dakars and back, deflected and wide. Oh, Kilty can't believe he's not scored. The fans in front of us can't believe he's not scored. Right-footed shot, looked destined for the far corner, and somehow it's gone wide.
Well, that's a real error from Richard King. He started the game really well, but gets caught on the ball. And then it's Dakars, plays it into Daniels, who does a lovely wee layoff to the edge of the box. I thought it was in. I think everybody around us thought it was in. Just curls, must be only a foot at max past the goalkeeper's left-hand post. Big chance for Kelly.
It's defensive errors for both sides at the moment. That's what's giving the chances.
Up to Mandron, he's won that battle. Drops for O'Hara, St Mirren captain, moving across the pitch. Gives it to Declan John, goal and assist at the weekend in the win over Falkirk, St Mirren's first league win. O'Hara hoists it to the back post, but Stryek was prepared for it and claims it, and then he's rolling it out to Kilty, and then down the line with a pass. Gogic just had to come across to meet Dackers, who still has it. Plays it back to Polworth. Polworth fires it into the edge of the box, but it's won by St Mirren after a poor touch. And then Freckleton slips. I think that's a couple of times he's potentially slipped the St Mirren centre back. There was lots of water going on the pitch just before the match. The referee David Dickinson's given a free kick to St Mirren, much to the ire of the Kilmarnock fans about 10 yards into Kilmarnock's half. It's still 0-0. We've played just about 13.
Why does Daniels not lay that off for the run of Kilty?
Yeah,
it's so obvious.
But the pace of the game's brilliant. It's been a really good opening 13 minutes. St Mirren have certainly had the better of it. They're getting width on the right hand side, getting crosses in the box. They've had a couple of chances. Kilmarnock on the other hand, Kilty's had a couple of chances as well, but it's been really defensive mistakes that have given each side the chances.
Goalless in the game in the Championship, by the way, St Johnstone against Dunfermline after 12 minutes. I'll keep you across that as best I can, live on BBC Scotland and iPlayer if you want to watch that. Declan John sends his free kick in with the left boot, and it's missed by pretty much everyone, and it's taken a nick on its way through, and it's going to be a St Mirren throw-in down near the corner flag on this near side, and there's probably only one place this is going.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's Keanu Bacchus that's coming over. It'll get launched at the near post. Richard King's going up, he's in there. Mandron will come across to the front post area as well.
I always wondered, they all stand there, Stephen. I would be standing on the byline and running across.
Yeah, make a wee bit of sense, that.
Here comes Keanu Bacchus, Australian, flings it into the edge of the 6-yard box. It's flicked away by Kilmarnock. Freckleton controls it. He's only really got Gogic back in the centre circle as his option. Gogic controls, and it's not the best pass, but Phillips has towed it away to the left-hand side, and that's brilliant from Declan John with the dummy, and then comes in field, gives it to O'Hara. Doesn't have a forward option, back to Freckleton, and then out to Phillips on the far side. Oh, it's a lovely use of his body to turn there. Phillips, and he's down the left-hand side of the box, outside of the boot with a cross, defended at the near post, and it breaks for Lewis Mayo, who's striding towards halfway. The Kilmarnock defender fires it into Dackers. He has to go back to Thompson, who this time I think just decides to get rid after being caught a couple of times, and that comes off Kilty as Gogic tried to clear. King stoops to head it to Freckleton. Kilty trying to put the pressure on, but it goes to Declan John on the far side. Frantic stuff, but it's still goalless. They've played just about 15 minutes in this Premier Sports Cup quarter-final, the first of 4, all of them covered live here on Sportsound on BBC Radio Scotland and BBC Sounds and BBC Sport website and app as well, of course. As Gogic controls and rolls it across, and Freckleton disappeared behind the pole there for a second, and now Gogic gives it to Richard King, who plays it long through the air, and that's control by George Stanger. Yeah, it kind of came off his chest and then his arm, which I don't think is a handball by the rules if it comes off another part of your body, but he was perhaps fortunate there because the touch wasn't the best. Here's Kilty now down the left, he's done brilliantly to drive into the box, then he's failed, and it's going to be a free kick right on the edge of the area left hand side. I think that's, is it Phillips with a foul there? Yeah, the yellow card is flashed, and Kilty is causing all sorts of problems against his former club.
Yeah, he'd be delighted that he's in now. Mackenzie out, Kilty in. He's done well, he's had a couple of efforts at goal. He's causing havoc down this left hand side. There's a wonderful run in between the two defenders. I think it's Gogic that catches him, and the referee brandishes the yellow card.
Yeah, so Kilty with 2 chances already, one that was saved by George, the other went just past the far post, and he's popping up everywhere, and he's now over this free kick along with Thompson just on the left hand side of the St Mirren box. 2-man wall covering the near post. Jamal George fairly central. Thomas leaves it for the right foot of Kilty. Dangerous area, well defended, headed to just about the edge of the box, but back it comes. This could go anywhere, and eventually it drops for Declan John, who hooks it clear.
Wonderful ball in, causing all sorts of concern at that back post.
And Thompson asks for a forward run. He's got right underneath that, and it drops for Kilty on this near side. He's caught by Richardson, and it's another free kick. And I'll put the question to Stuart Kettlewell whether the reason for Kilty coming in this side was he may have had a point to prove. We know he's got quality anyway, but he's certainly playing like he does.
Yeah, I mean, he's finding great areas on the pitch. His movement off the ball is superb, picking up wee pockets, and his first touch seems to be in. No doubt it's a free kick from Richardson. He's trying to protest, but way too much pressure. Another chance for a Kilty delivery here.
And this time it's going to be the left foot of Thompson, and it's on top of the goalkeeper, well. Just away from Jamal George, helped back in by Polworth, won by Mandron, and then John again hooks it clear, but the offside flag is up. Yeah, I thought that free kick initially was too close to Shamal George, but then it just curled away from him, and he did well to get there and get gloves on it.
Yeah, give Thompson credit. He's not had the best opening 17-18 minutes, but that was a wonderful free kick in. Really good goalkeeping as well. Shamal George, very decisive, comes out, good length on the punch. Chance gone, but it's been a good game. You know, it is two evenly matched sides, but they're certainly going for it.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Some good play from both sides, but goalless as it stands in the first League Cup quarter-final after 18 minutes at Rugby Park. Long from Shamal George, flicked on by Mandron. Ayunga is underneath it, he gets ahead on it, drops for Phillips, a bouncing ball, awkward, and he gets a hooked shot on it, and it's fairly harmless, goes through to strike. But Stuart Kettlewell might be a touch concerned at the amount of long balls that are going up and being won by Mandron in particular. That's breaking for Watson, I beg your pardon, to run after, but he's not going to manage to keep that in. But yeah, that point, Tomo there, just Mandron's won quite a few of those headers up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's an option that's used quite often. If it's not on, they don't like to make too many passes in their own half, get it into the opposition and ask questions. And so far in the game, yeah, you're right, in particular Mandron's won his fair share of headers against the 2 or 3 centre halves of Kilmarnock.
Richard King hooks it into the darkening sky, and then it's forward from Watson, and free kick given against Kilmarnock.
Yeah, I thought it was just a little shove on O'Hara there.
I don't think David Dickinson has endeared himself to the home fans already.
What gives you that impression?
Who would be a referee, in fairness? No VAR tonight, which, well, I think everyone is a fan of until there's a controversial call by the on-field officials, and then people are desperate for it.
Worked a treat on Saturday at Ibrox. Worked a treat. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, Rangers will be aggrieved with a couple, and they're not the only ones. Kilmarnock as well. Although I think there's a few clubs who don't even like the key match incident panel, because it is the opinion of kind of 3 or 4 people at the end of the day. I think I don't know where we are with the rules and the.
But I just think that VAR's it's one of them. There'll be VAR further on in this competition. I think if we can, everyone should have it, or no one should have it. You can't pick and choose certain games.
And I thought for a quarter-final, Biscuits should have had it.
It's up to the clubs at the end of the day. And here's Killian Phillips down the right-hand side of the box, low cross, dealt with at the near post by Robbie Dees, out for a throw-in on this near side. More good play down this side from St Mirren.
Tommy, we just talked about, imagine that decision on Sunday. If it was given as not a penalty, that could cost Kilmarnock tonight, if it's with no VAR, a place in the semi-final. Yeah. So you'd be better having it.
I think so. Good play from St Mirren, Richardson and Phillips down the right-hand side. Long throw coming.
Bacchus flings it in near post. Flicked away again into the area. Back in. Phillips can't gather for St Mirren, and it's lashed downfield. And Kilmarnock breathe again, but it's back with Gogic, who uses his thigh to kind of force that back to Shamal George, but it works well enough. Goalless here, goalless at McDermott Park between St Johnstone and Dunfermline, the leaders in action in the Championship this evening. And another unorthodox bit of play there as it goes back to the St Mirren defence. Phillips plays it out to the far side of Freckleton. Now Gogic to Richard King, who he's certainly going to entertain St Mirren fans with some of his play. And that's an ambitious ball which James Brown deals with initially, and then has conceded a throw-in eventually. Just couldn't regather after the first touch initially, and it'll be another Keanu Bacchus long throw here. Nothing has come from it other than the havoc it causes, and that is the name of the game here as Bacchus dries the ball on his shirt and prepares to fling it into the area. Here he comes. Kilmarnock with defending to do. It's over the first man, and then Polworth glances it away, and now the break is on. And guess who? Pass for Kilty, and then he's bundled over by Jayden Richardson. A really clumsy foul from the St Mirren wing back.
I was going to say he's lucky not to get booked here, but he is in the end.
Defending is not his strength. We saw that when he was at Aberdeen. He really struggled when they played well before.
He's got the pace to get back and stop Kilty, and Kilty knows he's coming, so as soon as he feels the contact, Kilty goes down. It's another silly free kick.
2 managers are having a go at each other.
Obviously Stephen Robinson doesn't think it's a free kick or a yellow, and Stuart Kettlewell quite the opposite. I would have said it was a free kick. I'm not sure about the yellow, but definitely a free kick, and a stupid one to give away.
Yeah, the passion in the dugout is reflected on the pitch and in the stands. A real intensity about this game. No goals so far. Kilmarnock free kick on this near side. Again, it's Thompson and Kilty over it. Thompson had the last one with the left foot, Kilty the one before with the right. And it looks like it may be Kilty. No, he leaves it for Thompson, and it's curled behind the St Mirren line, and then it's headed away by, I thought that was Gogic who got a touch on that, but it clearly wasn't, because the referee signals for
that was Robbie Dees.
A goal kick.
It's another decent ball in. It's a good area, but I mean, it's so crowded in there, it's really difficult to get a free header or get any purchase on your header cleanly. Robbie Dees wins it, but really hard for him to direct it goalward.
So goalless, goal kick to St Mirren, and both sides finding it tough to not necessarily break the other down, because there have been chances, but just that little bit of quality missing in the final thirds, as that goes out for a Kilmarnock throw halfway up their half. Stuart Kettlewell pacing the edge of his technical area, and obviously a semi-finalist with Motherwell last season, went in front in that game through Andy Halliday, but ended up losing 2-1. Rangers obviously went on to lose the final on penalties to Celtic, as Gogic heads that away. Watson controls it in the centre circle and rather awkwardly helps it back to Stanger, and then he returns it to Watson. He's done well to give it to Brown. Brown's swarmed really, and only has a backwards pass to Stanger. He goes direct, and then Gogic left that. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but he's managed to get there, and then his pass back to the goalkeeper is a bit under hit, and Shamal George just has to leather it out for a throw-in over on the far side.
Gogic has missed that, you should have said, not left it. There's no way he's meant that.
No.
You know me, Al, I like to be generous. Jayden Richardson chased that as Kilmarnock were on the attack, and he's played it direct up to Mandron, and then he's flicked it away from the defender. Mandron, what a chance here, and he's found the back of the net. Brilliant goal, and St Mirren have the breakthrough in this League Cup quarter-final. Brilliant touch, beats the defender, and a superb finish across the goalkeeper, and it is Kilmarnock 0, St Mirren 1. And this quarter-final burst to life.
It's a brilliant goal, right from the pass from Richardson. It goes up to Mandron. Maybe he gets a wee bit fortunate with the first touch. It kind of bounces up off of him, but then he spins it over to the top of the Kilmarnock centre half, takes his touch and absolutely lashes it past Stryk in the goal. A brilliant finish, no chance for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, wonderful goal. And I think just on the balance of play, they deserve it. St Mirren have looked more dangerous going forward, and it's a wonderful goal, really is it. That's why Richardson's in the team. He's a good passer of the ball. It's a wonderful pass to Mandron, but then he's still got a lot to do. Beats the first defender, and then he smashes it across the keeper into the back of the net. Really good finish.
2-2 for Mikael Mandron. Scored the second against Falkirk at the weekend, and it's his fifth in this competition as well already. Hat-trick against Annan in the 8-2 win, one against Forfar, and now he's got a massive one in the quarter-final away to Kilmarnock. And St Mirren strike first bloods, much to the joy of the 2,000 fans behind Shamal George's goal. And now, how do Kilmarnock respond? Dom Thompson has it in St Mirren territory, looking for support. He's got an overlapping run here from Robbie Dees, who gets to the byline and curls a decent ball in, and it drops, and it's cleared by John, and then St Mirren are able to get it down the pitch, and it's going to require a big response from Kilmarnock. They managed it, of course, at the weekends, trailing to Dyson Maida's goal, got themselves back level. Test of character again here. Thompson, and that's another careless infield ball by Dom Thompson. That's a third, and he was so fortunate that didn't go to a St Mirren player, and he plays it up the line here, and it's won by Dackers, but Richard King has stayed really calm and dealt with the situation really well, and he doesn't get fazed by much, the Jamaican. So Lewis Mayo plays it to David Watson, just short of halfway, out to James Brown, the former Ross County man. Here he is, Brown, and he never really has a forward option when it goes out to the wing back.
He's hardly been forward himself. That right hand side for Kilmarnock, he's hardly been involved in an attacking sense.
And that's a pass into midfield, which has ended up going through for Daniels. Now Polworth spreads it out to Brown on the far side. Watson's made an inside run, and then Brown curls the ball in, and then Dacker's got up, the towering centre forward. Got a header on it, and it's off target. 1-0 to St Mirren it remains.
It's been a decent response from Kilmarnock going behind. Good ball in. Dacker's again, but there's always St Mirren pressure there. Really good defending, making sure he doesn't get a clear header. And it's this time where I think Stevie Robinson just wants St Mirren to calm down. They've taken the lead.
Take this thing out.
Exactly. As far as Stuart Kettle was concerned, he's clapping away. He's saying it's a decent response, and it is a decent response.
I think Dacker should do better there. You know, the ball in's good. We know, I mean, he's probably got a good 3-4 inches on Richard King. Go and smash King and put the ball in the back of the net. And it's just waiting to be buried. But King defended the situation well. But for me, he's got to be more aggressive there, the centre forward.
Well, Kilmarnock didn't concede in the League Cup group stage, but they had just one clean sheet since then. That was the goalless draw here against Dundee in the league. And they conceded here as well, as Thompson flings it down the line. Gogic wins it. Phillips is underneath it. It was Polworth into the back of him. He's looking at the referee. Killian Phillips wanting the free kick. Doesn't get it. And it will be a throw in to St Mirren. And we know, and it is a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. In games like these, the first goal is often so important.
Especially when it's two evenly matched sides. And it gives St Mirren such a boost if they can, hold on to it for a little period of time. So many times within 4 or 5 minutes you concede an equaliser. So they just want to keep a bit of possession, as we see them doing now, Thomas. Nice and easy, get touches of the ball again. It's Kilmarnock they're going to have to force the issue now.
Yeah, and the home fans will start getting frustrated. That's a thing, that's a dangerous delay from Bacchus, but he's been clipped by Polworth, so he gets the free kick, the midfielder. And so it's a bit of a reprieve, because it was a risky touch at the back, and we've already seen in this game both sides comfortable a little bit of being a bit careless with the ball at the back, and the other one is not slow and taking up the offer if you're going to allow them in your territory. But Shamal George is over the free kick, halfway up his own half, and he floats it up to the edge of the penalty area, won by Dees, and it drops for Phillips, who sends it I was going to say into the stands, but it looks like it came off the roof of the stand.
It did, yeah. It wasn't his finest strike. He's right to take it on, though. It sat up nicely for him, and he's right to have the pop, but he gets right underneath it, took the lob wedge out.
yeah. Some feet to hit the roof of the stand from there. It's not a small stand behind that goal, but on we go. David Watson fires it forward. Gogic heads it into the artificial turf. It bounces up, and here's James Brown. Gives it to Liam Polworth in the centre circle. Now out to Thompson on the left-hand side, up against Richardson. He's going to have a go at him, Thompson, and then flicks it to Brown, and then fires into the penalty area. Out to Polworth. Controls it. He's not got no one outside him, though, as he has to run across towards the touchline. He's done really well, though, Polworth, and then wins a corner as he tried to cross it. And it's decent enough because he had no options.
It's the first time I've seen James Brown come forward the whole night. So far, 30 minutes, he's not been able to get into the St Mirren half. He does this time. He inverts a little bit, comes over the left-hand side with Thompson, and they've won a corner.
Corner on the far side. Dom Thompson is walking across to take this, so it's going to be his left foot to deliver. St Mirren fans in fine voice behind the goal. They lead by a goal to nil. Michael Mandron strike after 25 minutes. We've played 31. And it's Kilmarnock 0, St Mirren 1 live on Sportsound. Kilmarnock corner, and they were thinking about the short option, but it's well marked by Bacchus, so they're going to have to rethink now, Kilmarnock.
I tell you, if Watson goes in and takes Gogic in, it's on at the edge of the box.
Curled into the 6-yard box, a decent delivery, bounces up for Watson, strike blocked by Phillips. And now Brown has it, plays it up the left-hand side. Watson, inside ball is blocked by King, and Freckleton, I beg your pardon, and they've come across to this near side. And
I think set plays now, Thomas, are so vital for. I mean, I've watched Mullowall. I spoke about Mullowall in great depth, and they'll do it again tomorrow. They'll take a short one against Aberdeen. It'll come square to the edge of the box, and they'll get a strike off. There was an opportunity there for Kilmarnock. If Watson goes in, he takes Gogic right into the 6-yard box, and there's a free player right at the edge of the box. I think it was Kilty there. A chance to get a strike off.
Thompson launches the throw into the St Mirren box, headed away, and Stanger slices it into the sky, and then Thompson's put it with the outside of the boot into the area and headed as far as King. Goes down, doesn't get the free kick on the edge of the box. Daniels is battling, half cleared as far as Dees, then played in by Thompson and drops for Dackers. Now back to Watson and then Brown. Kilmarnock needing a bit of penetration. Decent ball from Brown from deep, but Shamal George claims it well for St Mirren. And just think, speaking of short corners, you say they're coming more and more common. One of the most incredible things I've potentially seen with short corners was at Ibrox when Club Bruce took one every single time and Rangers chose not to pick. They had about 5 before Rangers actually sent someone out to pick them up.
Could take that from George, but it was offside anyway. The linesman had his flag up.
Yeah, offsides as Dees heads it out defence. Come on at St Mirren 1. 33 on the clock. And it's Thompson. Fires it into Kilty, who's gone quieter in the last 10 minutes since the goal. Polworth out to Brown. Touch into Watson on the edge of the area. Watson for Polworth. Looks up. Delivers the cross, but it's overhit. Straight to the goalkeeper.
But they are getting Brown forward on the right hand side, Thompson on the left hand side. The last 4 or 5 minutes for Kilmarnock has been encouraging.
2 6'3" or plus strikers in the box. The delivery is essential and it has to be better from Kilmarnock's point of view.
Gogic to King. Filling in for Marcus Fraser as Mandron comes across, but he's dispossessed and it's a Kilmarnock throw-in. Both managers haven't stopped prowling the edge of the, technically as the fourth official, almost like a boxing referee, the fourth official in between the two of them, as King wins it well. He's had a good opening 34.5 minutes. The St Mirren centre back, that's won by Matt Drawn for Ayunga, and Kilmarnock managed to get it back, and it goes back to Mayo and all the way back to Stryjek, who fires a ball into Polworth, who chests it away to Dees, and then Watson, and now Kilty back to Watson on halfway. Watson for Dees, wearing the captain's armband, up to Polworth, takes it on the turn. Phillips gets back to face him. Polworth into Watson. Watson up to Daniels.
He's got to do better, Daniels. He's going too square to the ball. He's got to come at an angle and hold the defender off. If he goes square, the defender can poke his foot through his legs, just kick him, whatever. He just goes too square for me. He has to do better. What is he, 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah, link-up play's got to be a lot better. And it was good play from young Watson, linked for the give and go.
Switch of play from St Mirren out to Jayden Richards, and he's one-on-one with Thompson at the moment. Just his touch lets him down. Not a terrible touch, but just couldn't get it under enough control to try and take on his man. And now it's with Kilmarnock, and it's taken by Daniels. This time he does better to outmuscle the defender, but he goes backwards to Thompson, and then Dees does well to go between Ayunga and Phillips under a bit of pressure there. Out to Stanger on the far side. Now Brown with a short infield pass to Watson, who has made a run down the wing. Dackers holds off Gogic, who puts in a brilliant sliding challenge and wins it back for St Mirren. And Kilmarnock maybe just not getting enough from their front two at the moment.
They're not, it's coming off them too much, but it's all credit to the St Mirren back three. They're playing them really well, but you know, if I'm Stuart Kettlewell, I'm going crazy at my two strikers. They've got to link up.
Yeah, Bruce Anderson on the bench was our top scorer last season with 11 goals, and he scored a lot of those from the bench as well last season. I think that's potentially one of the slight concerns Kilmarnock fans perhaps have about this season, is whether they have real strength and depth beyond our best sort of 14-15 players. That will be tested, of course, as the season goes on. Richard King throwing on halfway, up to Mandron, controls and passes it to O'Hara, and to Declan John on the far side, back to O'Hara, just outside the box. Cross is deflected into Polworth, who's taken a few chances in the box. It comes off the St Mirren player, and then he just gets it to Phillips, and it's bobbling around, but St Mirren have it. King, and then Thompson intercepts, and Freckleton will chase and get there ahead of Dackers, who's looking for a bit of support in the pressure. There was none there. Kilmarnock 0, St Mirren 1. 37 played. Michael Mandron's goal the difference. Goalless between St Johnstone and Dunfermline in the Championship. If you want to watch that one, it's on iPlayer on BBC Scotland. And of course, it's the first of 4 League Cup quarter-finals. We're bringing you live on Sports Sounds across the weekend. And it is St Mirren who, at the moment, are heading to Hampden, but still an awful long way to go. Just the 1 goal in it. Back to Dees and Stryek, and Kilmarnock have had a couple of chances through Kilty early on, but struggled a bit to create much since then. It's almost as if St Mirren have kind of sussed them out a bit. And here is Stanger, launches it, but he just launches it to nobody, and Freckleton controls and then puts it out for a throw-in on the far side. Well, it's at least a net territory gain for Kilmarnock after a poor clearance.
Yeah, but they're lacking ideas, Thomas, in the final third. For me, the two strikers are too similar. Here's a wee chance.
Here's Brown, dinks into the box. King's header to the edge of the area. It's Kilty onto the left foot, shot deflected, spins up into the air. Thompson sends it back in. Gogic flicks it back out, and Phillips with the seconds. And now it's Dees forward for Bacchus, and the referee's whistle has gone, I think, for Poole, was it? He signalled there.
It's high feet.
Little kick at Dees, aye.
Yeah, high feet.
I've got to say, Kilty's been their best player for Kilmarnock. He's been very, very exciting. He looks to get the shots off. A couple of efforts already. The front two, I think you're right. I think they're too similar. You know, one short, one long, one big guy, one wee guy. They're two big guys, and none of them, with the power and the size and the strength they've got, they can't hold the ball up.
Free kick from Thompson. It's only to the edge of the area. Flicked on though. Freckleton not with the most convincing clearance, but it goes to Ayunga, luckily for him, who's helped it on, and it'll go out for a throw-in. On the far side, Kilmarnock 0, St Mirren 1.
Yeah, I mean, both sides are similar in the way that they approach the game, but for me, Kilmarnock aren't posing anywhere near as much a threat as St Mirren when they get into the final third, and the deliveries aren't good enough, but it's like a wee bit of imagination. It's very straightforward for the St Mirren's 3 centre-halves or back 5 to deal with. Not getting asked questions in behind. The link-up play isn't good. There's not a massive amount of movement for them to be concerned with. It's all a bit predictable for Kilmarnock.
Here's Dees to Kilty, who's been their main threat on the left-hand side. Takes it forward, puts the cross in with the left foot, headed away by St Mirren. O'Hara goes after it, takes a tumble, but it's Kilmarnock who have it. Brown sends the ball into the box, and it's just over Robbie Dees, who'd leapt into the air, and he puts his hands on his head because he just mistimed his jump there, I think. And it goes behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's a really good ball in from Brown on the right hand side. If you're saying that, he's getting more and more into the game. Dees wins the ball initially and continues his run into the box, and the ball comes in and he's just under it by about maybe 6-8 inches. Decent, really good ball in, good chance for Kilmarnock. But that's for me where the strikers should be. I think the strikers play too far apart, especially, you know, St Mirren are playing their back 3. The two of them got to get closer together. One wins the ball, the other one's flicking on, one's running in behind. They play too far apart.
Dees with a long ball, won by King, and then drops for Richardson, who hooks it forwards. Mandron, his touch was a bit heavy, and Polworth got his body in front, and then has bought the free kick, takes it quickly, gives it to Watson in the centre circle. Now Brown is playing almost as a midfielder here, gives it infield to Polworth in the centre circle. He's got no options, and his heels are getting snapped at, but it was an illegal trip there from Bacchus, and we get on with things. Kilty, left hand side, back to Dees, who goes long towards Dackers, but King watched it, brought it down well, and then clears it off a Kilmarnock player. It's Kilty and out for a St Mirren throw, and it's just comfortable for St Mirren at the moment.
Yeah, they're good value, they really are. Scored a terrific goal, and they've been the better side.
And Richard King, he's looked very accomplished, you have to say. Stephen Robinson talking in the week about the fact he reckons if he stays clear of injury and has the season they hope he will, then he'll be going to the World Cup with Jamaica, and Steve McLaren in charge, and I think they got him a snip from his club in Jamaica, because reportedly he'd been the subject of a bigger bid before that, some months before, from an MLS side. So they're happy with the recruitment they've done there, and he looks accomplished for sure.
Certainly on the ball, yeah. Just that one wee moment early on where he just thought he had more time than he did.
Flicked on by Mandron, but Stanger mops up. gives it to Watson, didn't have a lot of time, but he gets the pass away brilliantly to Daniels. Now Dackers going into a crowded area, and then he hits the deck, and King is protesting that he didn't touch him, but the referee disagrees. It'll be a Kilmarnock free kick about 10 yards away from the box.
Even now, can you take it quick? Can you get your hand on it? Can Kilty go down the line, or Thompson go down the line, run over the ball?
Yeah, a bit prescriptive at the moment from Kilmarnock, sorry.
Yeah, it's just going to be another either in-swinger from Kilty or from Thompson, floating it in and around the penalty spot, hoping to get their head on it, but St Mirren have dealt with 90% cross balls so far very well.
Kilty with the right arm raised. Leaves it though for Thompson with a left foot. Dangerous delivery, brilliant header, brilliant goal. Robbie Dees equalises for Kilmarnock, and finally one of their set pieces pays dividends. Wonderful curling ball, emphatic header, and it is Kilmarnock 1, St Mirren 1 in this quarter-final.
Yeah, we've criticised Thompson for his defensive capabilities, but certainly not his balls he's put in the box. That's 3 or 4 wonderful free kicks he's put in. It's right on the button there, and Robbie Dees makes a run across, and it's a great header into the back of the net. No VAR check, no nothing. That's a goal, 1-1.
Brilliant cross, brilliant header, but Stephen Robinson's going to be furious at the fact that there's a cheap foul that gave him the opportunity to put that ball into the box. I mean, they've had 3, 4, and they've all been decent deliveries from set plays. And on that occasion, there was no need for Richard King to give the foul away. He does, and they're punished right before half-time.
Robbie Dees' first goal of the season. Dunfermline have taken a lead at McDermott Park against St Johnstone. So goals going in here, goals going in Perth, and the leaders in the second tier up against it, against Neil Lennon's Dunfermline.
2 brilliant goals, it's got to be said.
Yeah, agreed.
Kilty, and now Kilmarnock have their tails up. Drops the shoulder, sends a ball to the back post, and it drops over the St Mirren defence and takes a bounce and goes behind for a goal kick, and the home fans have found their voice.
A couple of minutes ago you're thinking Stuart Kettlewell needs to get them inside and you know what I mean, rumble them up and get them back into the game. Now it's like, I don't want half time to come. You know, we're on top.
You can feel the energy in the stadium. There's not been a lot of them for them to cheer about in the opening 40 minutes, but that goal certainly brought Rugby Park to life.
Yeah, much needed for Kilmarnock, and their set pieces have worked for them this season. Working again tonight. Polworth sends it forward, and it's not dealt with by King after I was talking him up, and then he has a grab of Daniels, and the referee has taken a look at it and said, let's get on with it, and it's a throw into St Mirren down near the edge of their own box.
It's never a foul.
Man's game.
Never a foul.
1 minute added at the end of this first half. It is Kilmarnock 1, St Mirren 1. Robbie Dees cancelling out Michael Mandron's opener for St Mirren. Dees header to Watson, who fresh air swipes that in midfield, and O'Hara passes it to Declan John, who goes back to Freckleton. And Freckleton's done well to get away from Watson, and then passes to John, and then gives it back to centre half.
Well, I would say for the opening 25-30 minutes, St Mirren were the better team and were creating things and getting into Kilmarnock's final third. But I'd say in the last 10 minutes, you know, obviously the goal as well, but St Mirren have really struggled to be as creative a force, to be as threatening.
And Watson's put that in behind, and Dackers will chase, but Gogic gets there first and clears it. And over his shoulder, valuable defending from Gogic there. Now Phillips goes with the long ball. Ayunga's chasing it, as is Mandron, won by Mayo. And then Thompson plays it up the line. Phillips wins the race, but heads it straight out. It'll be a Kilmarnock throw in. And there is the half-time whistle. Well, we thought it would be intense. We thought it would be evenly matched. And it has been. St Mirren had the better, certainly, of the opening half hour and took the leads. Ball from Richardson up to Mandron, got away from the defender and finished well to give them the lead on 25 minutes. And then for the next 10 or so, they look pretty comfortable, St Mirren, and it will be to Stephen Robinson's frustration that it was a set piece that got the better of them for the equaliser. Brilliant delivery from this near side from the left foot of Dom Thompson, curled into a dangerous area between the goalkeeper and the St Mirren defensive line, and Robbie Dees planted a brilliant header into the far corner to level for Kilmarnock. And that means in the first of the Premier Sports Cup quarter-finals at the break, it is Kilmarnock 1, St Mirren 1.
The Scottish League Cup.
Live on Sports Sound.
Scottish football lives here.
On BBC Radio Scotland. Europa League football is back, and it's live on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. Next Wednesday, Celtic are in Serbia to face Red Star Belgrade.
Sensational goal from Celtic!
On Thursday, Rangers host Belgian side Genk.
And Ibrox goes wild!
Next Wednesday and Thursday on digital radio, or ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Scotland Extra.
You are listening to Sports Sound here on BBC Radio Scotland Extra on digital and on 810 medium wave with me, Liam McLeod. Half-time in the first of the quarter-finals of the League Cup. One apiece. It's as tight as we thought it was going to be between these two. A pretty entertaining cup tie, to be fair. There's been plenty of mistakes, but lots of good play as well. Mikel Mandron with a fabulous opening goal for the visitors in 25 minutes. Cancelled out by that late first half Robbie D's header. He's only ever managed to amass one goal as his season best goal tally, Robbie D's. So this season's one's come quite early in the piece. He's never scored more than once in a campaign as he flicked home that Dom Thompson free kick to level proceedings. And it will be, as Thomas said there, a frustration for Stephen Robinson that that's the way that the goal came about, because generally Saints are an extremely strong defensive unit. On this occasion they were opened up by the set play, the left foot of Thompson, and that coming, Stephen Thompson, after a fabulous goal by Mikel Mandron. You'd have liked that one if it was you sticking it home after the little flick over the head of the defender. I think it was George Stanger.
Yeah, 100%. You know, St Mirren started the better team, and for large spells in the first half they had a lot more of the ball, they had more opportunities, but they seemed to come off it for me in that last, say, 10 minutes of the half. Kilmarnock got to grips with what St Mirren were doing, and Kilmarnock weren't looking a threat apart from the set plays, and they had probably 3, maybe 4. There was certainly a couple good balls in from Kilty and from Thompson that St Mirren had dealt with actually reasonably well. But you can't keep giving these fouls away, you know, at the edge of your box and asking a team like Kilmarnock to go and put the ball in your box, and you're not going to defend every single one of them perfectly. And on that occasion it was a perfect ball and it was a perfect header. But going back to the St Mirren goal, yeah, at that point in time St Mirren were the team in a driving force. Great pass from Richardson. Mandron gets a wee break of the ball, but then what he does after that is absolutely brilliant. Flick over the top of the head, and then he's only got one thing in his mind, is being down in goal. Catches it well. I mean, he hits it hard enough. I think the goalkeeper might have got a wee hand to it, just kind of underneath him to his left hand side. He'll maybe be slightly frustrated, but because of the power that Mandron gets behind the strike, you know, it goes past Strijk and into the goal. I definitely think St Mirren have been the better team in the first half, but Kelly grew into the game, and as I said, the last 10 minutes I think Kilmarnock started to show a wee bit more. They're the home team and it's a quarter final of a cup, and they started to realise, you know, what they were in here.
Yeah, in front and centre for Kelly today has been Greg Kilty, who came into the side for the start this evening, having been at St Mirren for the last few years. It's difficult to keep up because Liam Donnelly, formerly of Kilmarnock, is now at St Mirren. Mark O'Hara, formerly of Kilmarnock, is now at St Mirren, and obviously Greg Kilty's flip-flop between the two clubs as well. There's been one or two others there, but he's been excellent, hasn't he? That's the Kilty that the Kilmarnock fans saw as a youngster here and played that very big role in keeping them up in the top flight that season when they beat Falkirk in the playoffs. Scored in that second leg here.
Yeah, it's been excellent. He started off 2 minutes in, he had the shot at the keeper. He could have taken an extra touch. He elects to hit it from about 25 yards. Comfortable save. Then he has the other one where Daniels lays it off, and we thought he was just going to bend it in the far corner. That just goes wide of the target. He's been very good, but I agree with what Stephen said. St Mirren, for long periods of that opening 45, were the better side. But gradually you see Brown getting into it. He wasn't in it at all in that opening half an hour. You just seen him getting forward. Thompson the same on the left hand side, and they started to build and get into the game.
It was almost as soon as you guys highlighted James Brown, he started coming into it.
Yeah, they had to get him. For me, when both teams play the same formation, which is the 3-5-2, it's whose wing backs can get further forward. And at the start it was Richardson was getting forward onto Thompson. Thompson was back, he was poor at the start. Then he had to start to force Richardson back, and he'd done that. Brown was getting held back, he couldn't get forward at all. Eventually he starts to pin his full back, and he starts contributing and getting into the box, putting crosses in, joining in the game, getting further up the park, getting further forward. And that's the joy. That's where this game for me will be won and lost. Whoever wing backs can dominate their side. That's the side for me, because they'll provide ammunition for the lads, because they've both got two sets of big lads up front. If they can get balls into the box on a regular occurrence, you would think that whoever gets on the end of them will win this match. That's for me where the winning or the losing of the game.
Stephen, explain to us why we always mention this cliche, whether it's a player, a manager, a supporter, or you guys in the press box, why scoring just before half-time is so crucial and so important, and why conceding one is so crucial, but on the flip side?
Well, because, as Alan mentioned in commentary, it completely flips and changes the perspective in the half-time team talk. Sure, Kettlewell, if he goes in at half-time, they're 1-0 down, he wouldn't have been happy with his team's performance. I mean, out with the set plays, they lacked an open play creativity. But for me, scoring right before half-time, if you go in, it's a mentality thing. St Mirren would have gone in and gone, right boys, we've got this, we're 1-0 up, just don't concede and we're in the semi-final. The game's flipped on its head and the impetus changes. St Mirren would have been super positive in that changing room. Now Killie are the ones that are going, right, we're back in this, we didn't start the game well, but we're going to be the team that's our home game, we'll go and win it. So it's a mentality thing, it's in your head, that kind of flip just before half-time, and even just after time, it's a similar thing.
Both teams played well, you know, in that opening period.
It's been a good game.
It has been. It's very enjoyable, I must admit. You know, but as Stephen said, it changes team talks, and now it's again for St Mirren. Kilmarnock can play a lot better, but so can St Mirren. They dominated the opening 25-30 minutes. Probably could have been a couple of goals up and find themselves pegged back in level terms at half-time. It's all to play for. We thought it would be tight. I'm hoping for more goals in the second half. If it does go to extra time and penalty kicks, so be it, but just give us more goals. I really enjoyed that opening 46 minutes.
It is 1-1 in the first of the League Cup quarter-finals here on Sportsound, and we've got coverage of the other three last 8 ties that are being played over the course of the next couple of days. Rangers-Hibernian is at 5:45 tomorrow. Before that, Aberdeen hosting Motherwell, the two home teams in desperate need of a victory, but going up against away teams who are in a much better place right now, it seems, certainly mentally. And then on Sunday, 3:30 kick-off at Firhill, as Celtic make the short journey, the holders, to take on Championship side Partick Thistle, who've been in excellent form themselves. There is that one Premiership match taking place tomorrow, which sees Dundee take on Livingston at Dens Park. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff. We've got coverage of that one during that first quarter-final tomorrow at the Tawdry. And there is that Championship match, which is live on the telly tonight, and it's a Rory McLeod goal late in the first half that has done Dunfermline Athletic 1-0 up against the league leaders St Johnstone, and that will rifle the powers right up the league if they are going to win that one, but they're in a good place to do so. Half-time, Neil Lennon's men 1-0 up against Simo Valakari's St Johnstone. So let's talk about this KMI verdict that came in today on 4 separate incidents that were made last week, including one here at Rugby Park. Firstly, Rangers were denied a legitimate goal according to the KMI panel. Hearts should have had one disallowed in the same game. That was when Lawrence Shanklin appeared to control the ball with his arm before he was eventually set up by Varga to make it 1-0 for Hearts at Ibrox in that game. So the 2 key decisions in that one were wrong according to the KMI panel. Whether you agree with the panel or not, you can all have your own opinions, I would have thought. They unanimously agreed the VAR was incorrect not to intervene and asked referee Stephen McLean to review the handball by Shankland in the build-up to Hearts opener, and they also believe VAR should have suggested to McLean that he was wrong to rule out Derek Cornelius' effort for a foul on goalkeeper Alexander Shvolov. Oliver Antman was involved in that one as well. Hearts, of course, went on to score a second and won the match. The incident here at Rugby Park on Sunday also came under the microscope. There was the handball Lewis Mayo was adjudged to have used an arm to stop a James Forrest shot. Iheanacho converted the awarded penalty after the VAR check. It looked as though I was doing that game. It looked as though the VAR had been cleared. It had been checked and cleared. John Beaton was eventually sent over to have a look at, and he awarded the penalty, which Iheanacho converted. And the other one that was brought up was one of the penalty decisions at Easter Road. Well, the one that wasn't given. I believe Hibs should not have been awarded the penalty that allowed Jamie McGrath to earn the 3-3 draw against Dundee United, but I think there was one before that they felt should have been that wasn't awarded. So not exactly the best week for the officials, Alan, and not the best week for Willie Collum.
No, it's not Willie's fault. Willie doesn't.
But he's got to deal with it.
He's got to deal with it. That's the thing. He's the one that's having to deal with it. But I think even if you go through them one at a time, then we'll start with the Lawrence Shanklin handball. He doesn't celebrate. You then look at him actually saying, "I've handled it."
It's incredible. He said it 3 times.
He said, "I've handled it." That's why he's not celebrated. And you think there's maybe a clue in there, but I don't get it. I just don't get it at all. And then you go into the second one, which was the goalkeeper potentially being fouled. Not a foul for me at all. Ball goes up in the air. Keepers get too much protection anyway. But it's not.
And this is coming from a Hearts fan.
Exactly, so 100%. I think the keeper's got to come and punch it and clear his area if he can. He flaps it, and Cornelius knocks it into the back of the net. For me, it was a penalty. I think Mullen gets clipped, and when you're running at pace,
that was one the panel agreed was the correct decision.
I thought that was
an
a
on-field decision.
That was a penalty kick. So he gets clipped. He's running at pace. The slightest he touches and down he goes, and it was a penalty for me. The one here is just madness. There was one before, I think, with Robbie Dees, where the goalie saves it. There's one flashed across the goal. The goalie saves it, and it flips up off Robbie Dees' arm, and that wasn't given. And I thought, well, they can't give that one, so they can't give the second one. You know, but for the second one to come off of Dees onto Mayo and Dees, because they're saying his hands are in an unnatural position. Both of them are mirror imaging each other, which tells me their hands are in a natural position, and not unnatural.
The actual shot was at that point then going wide of the goal. But I think the thing about that one is, what Willie will probably be most disappointed in is the person in the VAR seat that then asks John Beaton to come over to the monitor. You know, what's going through his head there that makes him think, right, okay, this is a penalty? Because I think unanimously, and it's been spoken about a lot since it happened last weekend, everybody is in agreement that it shouldn't have been a penalty kick, but it was given, and I suppose there's nothing that can be done about it now. But I would agree with Alan with all the other incidents. I think the KMI panel have got them right.
It's not great optics though, is it?
Not ideal, but I think that actually, I honestly believe that VAR have started the season quite well.
Well, this is the first time we've really sat down and had to discuss it, as if we pull it apart.
But honestly, this may sound crazy, but they 2 points at that point that Kilmarnock lost on Sunday could be the difference between them top 6, staying up, playoff place, whatever. They've got to get these ones right. I don't think that was a difficult decision. I really don't. When you see it hitting Dees onto Mayo, it's not a difficult decision. They're within, a foot of each other if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And that can cost you. Like the one at Easter Road with Hibs and St Mirren. That can cost Hibs a European place, a top 6, whatever it is. We need to get them right because they're not difficult.
Well, let's hope for a quiet second half for the official this evening. David Dickinson in charge, no VAR. It's Kilmarnock 1, St Mirren 1. The players are back out for the second half and the first of the League Cup quarters. Let's get back to Thomas.
Yeah, thanks, Liam. It's been as written as we anticipated it might be, and plenty of good football played from both sides. No changes from either at half-time, so it's as you were, 1-1. David Watson kicks off for Kilmarnock, who will be the first into the hat for the semi-final draw. We're about to find out as James Brown charges down that clearance from Declan John, and it fires off him and out for a goal kick. And Stephen Robinson, I guess Stephen Thompson, the message probably, forget the goal almost, just get back to doing what you were doing the first half hour, 35 minutes.
At the start of the game, Mirren, as I said, they definitely started the game the better team. He'll be really frustrated and disappointed that the manner that lost the goal, the cheap free kick to give away, the fact it was a set play and the timing of it, but it's just about reset. I mean, it's level in the game, and go and start this second half like you started the first half would have been the message.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael Mandron has certainly looked a handful up there from them. Ayunga not quite had the same impact, but working hard nonetheless. As a battle for the ball in midfield, Watson smashes it off of Bacchus and it runs forward for Ayunga to chase, and then two Killie players take each other out, and then the referee's given the free kick, I think, for as if Ayunga perhaps nudged one of them into the other.
Mandron doesn't complain. It's an initial foul by him on that right hand side, but as we can see, Thompson should be playing 10 yards further up. Brown's already up against John in this half as well.
Well, and that's a clumsy touch from Stanger, but he does keep it in on this near side. The centre back fires it up to Daniels, and then it's off to Polworth and into Kiltie. Opens up the pitch with his touch and then goes to the left hand side for Thompson. Kiltie makes an overlapping run and Thompson tries to find him, and then there's a little bit of hesitation from the St Mirren defence. The goalkeeper comes out, cleans out his own man. No one took charge of that situation, but St Mirren survived because it's a goal kick.
Much better though from Kilmarnock strikers with a link-up play. It was actually probably their best bit of football in the match so far. I mean, lovely triangle, switching it out to the far side. Just a bit of a rushed pass in the end. Kiltie made a decent run, but the pass was a hard one to thread through, and then Richardson again just kind of hesitant. Maybe he thinks the goalkeeper's coming out to get it, but eventually smashes it off Kiltie and out for the St Mirren goal kick.
Shamal George thought that was a free kick.
He thought it was offside. He thought it was an offside flag.
He was taking the ball up to the edge of his box, but he's told swiftly to return to the edge of the 6-yard area. And here he comes, the St Mirren keeper. He sends it long. Phillips goes off, as does Ayunga, and then Watson wins the second ball. Flicked on by Daniels for Kiltie. Halfway up St Mirren territory, and he slipped a ball towards Daniels, but good defending from Freckleton to knock it back to his goalkeeper, who clears it. Stanger returns it with a header. I think Gogic heads it into the sky. O'Hara and Watson battle for it. It's Kilmarnock who have the ball, and Mayo finds Thompson, who looks up and curls a ball forward, but it was a wee bit aimless. Declan John now, and his clearance is blocked by Brown. St Mirren throw-in on this near side. And Stevie Frail and Stuart Kettlewell. Stuart Kettlewell just saying, "I've got this, Stevie," sending him back to the bench.
Stevie will never get a shot out there. Absolutely no chance.
Well, I think managers play a wee bit not liking people coming out, because of course they take all the bookings now for whatever is said. As it's played down the line for Richardson to chase, and he gets there, but and then he's looking at the linesman looking for a throw in, and he's got it. I think he wanted the foul.
Yeah, I mean, Dom Thompson's grabbing at his shirt, a bit of both, to be honest with you. Smith will take the throw, Bacchus will send this in long. King's coming up, Mandron, Ayunga all loading that front post again.
Again, there's no movement though from St Mirren there.
No,
it's just trying to get on the end of it.
Here it comes from Bacchus, and then King gets a boot on it, then a header, and then it's eventually cleared by James Brown. Nervous moments for Kilmarnock for a bit there. Goal scorer Dees wins the header, but offside flag is up. Yeah, long throws increasingly common from a lot of sides in the Premiership, as Polworth plays it into midfield for Watson. And Mayo curls the pass to Stanger. Stanger fires it into Daniels, and then there's a slip, and Watson picks up edge of the box out to Thompson. He delivers with the left foot, real pace on it, but too much pace. It flies behind for a goal kick. It remains 1-1 as we hit the 50-minute mark at Rugby Park in the first of the Premier Sports Cup quarter-finals.
That was a real chance there for Kilmarnock. Yeah. Thompson is usually good. We've seen it in that opening period. Now they've got 4 or 5 in the box as well, Kilmarnock.
Yeah, they'd loaded the box, and I think he goes for a wee bit too much power. Just on that occasion, put it into an area. You've got the bodies there, let them go and attack it. He tries to whip it and gets way too much on it.
Just the one win, 14 attempts for St Mirren, going back to 2013 at Rugby Park, and that was on penalties in the Scottish Cup quarter-final after a 3-3 draw under Jim Goodwin. They take that tonight to go through to Hampden in a meeting with TBD. There are 3 games across the weekend, draw after Partick Thistle's game with Celtic on Sunday. I'll bring you that on Sports Sound as Bacchus looks for Ayunga. It's cleared by Kilmarnock, won by Daniels, but O'Hara gets it back for St Mirren. It's just become a wee bit of a battle in the first 5 or 6 minutes of this second half. Out to Richardson, and his pass down the line is blocked by Thompson. It's a good battle. Richardson certainly had the better of it in the early exchanges, but Thompson's recovered.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it was a shaky start from Thompson, there's no doubt about that. Those couple of passes he played inside the pitch that get cut out, and then Richardson spinning him and getting by him 2 or 3 occasions, but he did recover. Credit to him in the second part of that first half and started to look more of a threat. His delivery's certainly causing problems.
Declan John back to Alex Gogic, another ever present, and of course it was his goal against Hearts in the last round that ended up helping them through, winning on penalties as Declan John picks up left hand side of the Kilmarnock box onto the right foot, then back on his favoured left through the legs of Brown, who's recovered brilliantly, the Kilmarnock defender, and then he let that run. I think he thought he was getting a goal kick, and it's actually a corner to St Mirren, so he did well initially.
Yeah, he should have just emptied it after that. Tries to keep the ball in play, and it's rolled out for a St Mirren corner.
So chance for St Mirren, and it's going to be Bacchus to take on this near side in front of the 2,000 or so St Mirren fans who've made the journey down the M77 this evening, as Bacchus raises the left arm. There's movement in the box. Bacchus clips it to the near post. Gogic made the run, and then it breaks for King, who shot, blocked by Mayo, and John forces it out towards Bacchus, but it was behind the Australian and out for a throw-in.
A brilliant block from Mayo. Shot comes in, he throws his body at it, manages to get a block. Away it goes. Still, don't know who's going to win this. I'm genuinely
I agree.
So evenly matched.
Yeah, we thought it would be. Stanger goes back to Stryjek, controls it with the right boot, back to his defender, and eager to press, and Mark O'Hara's leading it, and he's pinched it initially, and he's got it with the help of Ayunga into Mandro near the penalty spot. His little touch is blocked, and then Mayo can lash clear. Kilmarnock just taking unnecessary risks as John plays it into O'Hara, and Freckleton down the line for Declan John. He's been a wee bit quieter in terms of deliveries into the box than we saw at the weekend against Falkirk, where he was getting a lot of joy, including setting up Mandron's header. And that's a pass that invited Watson on, but St Mirren still have it, popping it about. Freckleton down the line for John, who helps it back to Freckleton. He's going to go for a little run, sliding challenge from Stanger, but Freckleton has emerged with the ball, cuts it back, oh, it's off the bar. What a save from Stryjek to just tip that onto the crossbar. Killian Phillips must have thought he'd scored there, but it stays out. It stays 1-1, and there's a foul on Watson, and as the referee's going to his pocket here to book Kiana Bacchus as well, and it's all kicking off. Brilliant reactions from Max Stryjek.
Brilliant save. Phillips gets everything on it, but Stryjek's gone across his goal line. He's gone from right to left, and he just has a big hand at it, whether it hits his hand or his arm, flicks it onto the crossbar. It's a wonderful save. What a chance.
The reactions are unbelievable from Stryjek. It was really, really good play from Spim down this left hand side. About 5, 6, 7 first time passes against this Stanger, and then he makes a right mess of it that allows St Mirren in. The cut back to Killian Phillips, and he must have thought he'd scored. I think every St Mirren fan thought he'd scored, but the wee tiny touch from Stryjek, flicking it up off the bar.
It's a brilliant cutback from Freckleton. St Johnstone have equalised against Dunfermline at McDermott Park. High Fotheringham with the goal, and St Mirren get the throw on the far side, and Kilmarnock fans already displeased with David Dickinson, who, to be fair to him, I don't think he's had a bad game at all.
No, referees, when you don't see them in games, it shows you they've had a decent game, and he's handled everything correctly. He's not got anything wrong. I thought he's conducted himself well.
So it's still 1-1, and then Kilmarnock get a decision this time in midfield. Dickinson signals for the free kick, and
Bacchus will just need to be careful. I mean, he got booked a few minutes ago for what looked quite a rash challenge on David Watson. This one, he's late again. Don't know how many more he's got left in him. wonder if that's something that Stephen Robinson will have a think about.
Well, they've got 3 players in the books as well, Phillips and Richardson. So he played to Stephen Robinson's thinking here as the game wears on. 56 minutes played. Kilmarnock 1, St Mirren 1, man drawn for the opener. 25.
It's a very high line here with St Mirren.
Yeah, they've done that all night, and they were undone by the D's header.
Thompson again with the delivery.
Yeah, he curls it in behind with the left foot, and Gogic goes up, doesn't win it, it's flicked on, and then it falls for Mandron to clear. James Brown controls centre circle, and then to Thompson. Thompson launches it down the left-hand touchline. Kilty is underneath it, and Richardson almost came off his shoulder there. Kilmarnock fans appealing for a handball, but I didn't think it was myself from this range. David Watson now with the ball, goes back to Kilty. Sorry, Polworth, and then Kilty, and then their pass in field doesn't come off, and it breaks for Phillips, who will take this a little run and pass it out towards this near touchline for Ayunga. Ayunga puts the head down and drives down the line. Brown's trying to get back at him, infield to O'Hara, and then his little pass didn't come off for Declan John, but one back by Kiana Bacchus as Daniels dithered on the ball. St Mirren up towards the edge of the Kilmarnock box. 1-1 is the score in this League Cup quarter final. Richardson passes it out to Phillips. His cross is shut down by Thompson. He'll let it run for the throw-in, and that only means one thing. Kiana Bacchus is already on his bike going across.
Well, there's Bruce Anderson being sent straight out for a warm-up.
It means 2 things. It means Anderson will be coming on. So frustrating. Daniels, it was a simple pass. Just control it. Gives the ball away. St Mirren are on the attack.
You can't counter-attack unless your striker's able to link the play, and he did not there. Really cheap.
Well, St Mirren go short with the throw, and it's into Richard King in the box. Almost like Kelly were sleeping there, as if they were just expecting to defend a long throw, and Richardson offered a good option, and in the end they scrambled it out for another throw in an identical position on the far side. And I think this time Bacchus is just going to put it into the mixer. 58.
What I'm meaning with the throw-ins, Thomas, is someone should stand on the byline and point to the edge of the 6-yard box. That's where you want it thrown. Then you're running and jumping and flicking it on. As it sits, they're all just jumping. No one's getting a run at it. And
Thompson wins it at the near post for Kilmarnock. Back to Bacchus though, sends the ball in. Away by Dees, edge of the box. Richardson with a strike. Oh, it's a beauty!
Oh my word.
That's an absolute screamer from Jaden Richardson. Banged into the top corner, and St Mirren lead again at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock 1, St Mirren 2.
It's absolutely outrageous from Jaden Richardson. Kilmarnock thought they'd cleared the danger. It pops out to about 20 yards out. He takes it on the chest, and then from a ridiculous kind of body position manages to find the power to hit it on the volley on his right foot right into the top corner. Max Stryjek, no chance. I mean, you'll do well to see a better goal than that.
Well, he scored a beauty in the group stage, I think, as well, against, was it Arbroath he scored against, and it was just, that's what he's capable of. But I mean, you're thinking hit it, but you're not expecting to see it just fly into the top corner. Stryjek, no chance. Well, if that turns out to be the winner and there's still half an hour plus to go, then that's fit to win any game, that strike from Jaden Richardson. And now the changes come from Kilmarnock. Bruce Anderson replaces Gennaro Daniels, who has not had the best evening, and he shakes his head as he heads to the bench. And Bruce Anderson, 11 goals last season, can he help revive Kilmarnock's hopes after being completely suckered by that Richardson screamer? And it was celebrating, and Ayunga's pulled there, but he's counter-attacking, and now it's Bacchus, edge of the box, strike blocked by Lewis Mayo. Bacchus recovers it, edge of the box from Mandron, touched away, goes down. Ayunga tipped over the bar by Stryjek. St Mirren want a third here, and they have a corner.
Really good play again on the attack. St Mirren at pace and power, and Ayunga there with a shot tipped over the bar by Stryjek. If it goes 3-1, got to be a long way back for Kilmarnock.
Yeah, I think Polworth was looking for a foul there in the build-up for a potential pull from Ayunga, but David Dickinson wave play on, and suddenly St Mirren were sprinting straight at the Kilmarnock backline, and they have a corner here after Stryjek's save. And it's the away fans you can hear again here at Rugby Park. St Mirren 2-1 up. Bacchus curls the corner to the back post. Keeper comes, doesn't get there, and then Gogic kind of on the back foot ends up heading it way over the crossbar.
He was just leaning back, wasn't he? I mean, the delivery's okay, but it's probably a foot too high for Gogic, and he's just leaning back, can't get any power in the header, and just looks it over the bar.
Richardson's goal, like Brannan's goal, Easter Road.
Aye, or like remember Nisbet's last season up at Pittodrie, similar
against Hibs.
Outrageous strike.
Because his body shape wasn't actually like
he's actually going backwards. He waits on his back foot.
Just to hit it on the volley like that was just and control it the way he did was just brilliant. And Kilmarnock have to come from behind again if they want to get into the semi-finals of the League Cup. The first of 4 this weekend, all of them massive, all of them live here on Sports Sounds. 2 tomorrow, Pittodrie, Aberdeen, Motherwell, 3 o'clock, 5:45 at Ibrox, Rangers Hibernian. Sunday finishes it off. Partick does a hosting Celtic at 3:30 as Ayunga comes down the left touchline. Can he dig it across? He can. Phillips beaten to it by the defender, and then Watson helps it down the field, sent back by Richardson, and Brown just heads it up into the air. Stanger with the seconds. Watson to Kilty, and then Watson with the outside of the boot sends it forward for Dackers, who gets there ahead of King, and he tries to take on the defender. He's done okay there, but then ends up hitting off him and going out for a throw-in on the far side. And the momentum is just chopped and changed in this game. It's been with St Mirren more than it hasn't, but it's just it's been engrossing stuff.
A really good play by Ayunga on the left-hand side. Ayunga and Mandaron have done what Dackers and Daniels can't do for Kilmarnock in that opening hour or whatever it is we've almost played. The front two for St Mirren have been very, very difficult to play against.
Yeah, how many times have we said that about anything to do with St Mirren over the last 3 seasons? Difficult to play against. It's their hallmark with the quality sprinkled in, and that was shown, I should say, by Jayden Richardson with that sweet strike, which is the difference between the sides here at Rugby Park after 63 minutes. Kilmarnock 1, St Mirren 2. Controlled by Richardson, but he has it taken off him by Kilty. Up to Anderson, the substitute. And then it's good combination play with Kilty, who's striding towards the edge of the box. Kilty plays it infield. Chance here for the equaliser. What a block that is. Brilliant block at the near post from Miguel Freckleton to turn it behind for a corner.
Oh, it's great. Kilty at his best. Absolutely superb. Driving it. St Mirren defence cuts inside. It's a brilliant overlapping run from David Watson. The timing of the pass from Kilty is perfection. Watson takes a touch, and then he's just got to find the far corner on the left-hand side of Georgie's goal. Doesn't manage it. St Mirren get back, make the block corner. Big chance.
It's out of nowhere. Freckleton comes. Absolutely out of nowhere.
Corner on the far side to Kilmarnock. It's Thompson who's going to take. Steps back. And he's ready to deliver. The referee watches on. Thompson, outswinger, headed away by St Mirren to the edge of the box. And Kilty thought about hitting it, and then took the touch, and then he's taken away from the defender out to the far side. Thompson fires the cross in, and the header almost came off the back. Was it Watson who jumped up there, or Colworth? And someone in there and kind of jumped and mistimed it, and it came off his shoulder or someone and spun by for a goal kick. Stanger up from the back. A couple of chances, one really good one for Kilmarnock. They're far from done yet. And
they need to get the next goal. I think if St Mirren goes 3-1, it's done. Very difficult to get back for there, so Kilmarnock really need to get this next goal.
Still 1-1 in the championship game tonight, which is being shown live on BBC Scotland and the iPlayer and the BBC Sport website. Kai Fotheringham cancelling out Rory McLeod's opener for Dunfermline. 2 former Dundee United players on the score sheet in Perth tonight as Kilmarnock come forward. Anderson, a touch away from Gogic. He goes down and he's
Gogic has already been booked.
And the referee, I don't think Gogic has been booked. I think it was Phillips who got the booking in the first half. Yeah,
I thought it was Gogic.
Certainly, that's what's been marked down as a Phillips one, the one down there on Kilty. But either way, he doesn't get booked here, so got a chance for Kilmarnock to deliver right in the corner of the box, and Thompson again with the left foot might be favoured here as Kilmarnock look for a way back into this quarter-final. They found one equaliser, need to find another here. It is Kilty, And Thompson, it will be the left foot of Thompson, a lot on it, where it deflects off the wall, and they're screaming for handball here, Kilmarnock. It's not given, and of course there is no VAR to check it.
Exactly.
Here we are.
They're adamant it's a penalty. You can see it.
Yeah.
They are adamant it's a penalty.
And if it's hit with such pace, it's really difficult for the referee to see it in real time. We've no monitors up here to tell you what we think, but there's no VAR.
But what we were saying though, Tomo, is if you have VAR, that gets checked.
Oh, it does. It most definitely does.
That can cost you.
This is always the thing. You rejoice when VAR's not here until your team want a penalty.
Correct.
And there's no one to come in and intervene. Anyway, Kilmarnock have to make do with the corner. Thompson, another outswinger with the left foot, headed away by Mandron. Kilty's underneath it, controls it and goes back to James Brown. Fires the pass to Polworth, who regathers at the second attempt. Inside ball to Brown, who's just going to launch this into the box, but it's very deep. It bounces in the area, and Jayden Richardson goes down and gets the foul. Clever play from the St Mirren defender, just waited for the touch. Went to the ground, and it's a free kick, and the guys are hopefully getting a second look at this penalty claim with the wonders of technology. We get their thoughts on it once they've furnished themselves with the replays, as St Mirren fans sing.
It was never a penalty anyway. But it gives it a wee bit of drama, doesn't it?
So does it come off the shoulder?
I don't even know if it does, but his arm's right by his side anyway.
Yeah, not a penalty.
Well, Kilmarnock players were adamant, but maybe it's just that decision in the back of their minds from Sunday. It bounces in there, box, and James Brown takes a chance as Mandron was in there with his header back to the goalkeeper, but it did go back to Stryek, who launches it, cut out by King, drops for Watson. This game is still in the balance, although St Mirren have the advantage, and a curled into the near post diving header from Dackers, and should he have made more of that? He had more space than I think he thought, and it just goes through to Jamal George. Remains 2-1 St Mirren.
James Brown, fabulous ball in right behind the St Mirren defence, and I do think he should have done better than he does. He just glances at slightest touch on the header, but Kilmarnock are playing with a lot more intensity now.
And David Watson battling in front of the manager's dugouts, and they're trying to throw in quickly here, Kilmarnock, but the referee's not happy with it. Wasn't on the mark anyway from Polworth, and it's all getting very feisty here at Rugby Park.
Brian Kerr's getting a bit excited as well down there.
It's all kicking off.
This is what we love, Scottish football. Placing the semi-finals of the League Cup at stake, two evenly matched side, but it's St Mirren who have the better of it at the moment. 2-1 up, thanks to Jayden Richardson's tremendous volley from 25 yards. Kilmarnock coming forward now though. Dees headed away by King, and Thompson back to Robbie Dees. Slides it down the side of the box, but Kilty couldn't gather, and it goes away for a goal kick.
I tell you what, that's it. Mirren crowd haven't stopped singing all night. Been brilliant.
Yeah, just a feel-good factor around the club at the moment. First league win of the season at the weekend, but they had on paper the toughest start of any sides. Away to Celtic, played Rangers, although you could argue it turned out to not be as tough as one might have anticipated. And then Hearts in the cup as well, as it's controlled by Mandron, and St Mirren want a free kick.
That's a head knock.
Head knock.
Kicked in the face.
So it's all getting very feisty here. Great atmosphere at Rugby Park, and still there to be one for either side. Kilmarnock not out of this, but they need some inspiration as David Dickinson gives it back to St Mirren after that head knock. You're listening to Sports Sound live on BBC Radio Scotland Extra on BBC Sounds online. First of the Premier Sports Cup quarter-finals, and it is Kilmarnock 1, St Mirren 2 after 70. Headed forwards by St Mirren. Dees heads it back, returned by O'Hara, and then Dees again up over halfway, chested by Dackers to Kilty, and Brown looking for Watson, but Gogic eats that up and clears it down the line. Stanger's header, Bacchus has it in the centre circle, gives it to Mandron. faces the goal and gives it to John. John coming into space inside the pitch and then goes back out with his pass to Mandron on the left-hand side of the Kilmarnock box. Mandron would much rather be in the penalty area at the moment. He's waiting for support. O'Hara offers it, as does John. Back to O'Hara with a pass. Now it's O'Hara. Cross deflected. Phillips is there, and it breaks for Bacchus, edge of the area. Now to Richardson. Has he got another one in his locker? Shifts it out his feet, sends it into the box. It hits off one Kilmarnock player, and then there's a lunge on the edge of the box from Lewis Mayo, I think. And he's going to go into the referee's book, and that was clumsy. There'll be a free kick right on the edge of the area for St Mirren now, as Mayo goes into the referee's notebook.
Yeah, and it's set up. Declan John, lovely left foot. Phillips will be over it as well.
I fancy Declan John for this one. Yeah, but I mean, it was a crazy challenge to go into in the first place. Right at the edge of the box.
Yeah, it was desperate. It was desperate from Lewis Mayo, but Declan John did score a free kick at the weekend. It was a huge slice of luck.
But you remember his win against Rangers last year from a very similar position.
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely left foot. It's just outside the box. Must be about 19 yards.
It's one that might be too close to curl. I think you've got to go with power.
John and Phillips over it. It is the left foot of John. He does curl it, and it just skims the roof of the net over the top, not far away.
It's difficult to get it up and down from 18.5 yards. That's why I said it'd be better if we went for some power.
Yeah, you never know if the wall might jump or splinter. As Thompson plays it down the left-hand side. Dackers goes up, but he's misjudged it and goes way over his head. And St Mirren are coming forward through Richardson. Driving at Kilmarnock, good pace, surging with confidence after his goal, floats a ball to the back post, and Brown just had to deal with it because Declan John was steaming in to try and get something on it, and he knocks it behind for the corner.
Really positive play from Richardson down the right hand side, driving to the byline, puts a good cross in. If Declan John had burst himself a wee bit more, he could have got it at the back post, but Kilmarnock not taking any chances, giving it away for the corner.
And no rush inside the last 20 minutes, take their time, set it up.
Kieran Bacchus ambles over to place this ball in the quadrant, and there's the usual pushing and shoving going on in the box as St Mirren players trying to set up blocks and get free. Freckleton's doing a bit of a jig in there, and it's curled in by Bacchus, too close to Stryjek, who takes it out the sky, and he's looking to launch the counter. Brilliant. And he's put a phenomenal throw up to Kilty, who's up against Richardson. St Mirren flood back in numbers though into Polworth. He has to face backwards, he doesn't have an option. He has to turn backwards and gives it to Dackers.
Gogic is taking someone out in the middle of the box.
And then Kilmarnock play on here, and there's Kilty. Little touch off Freckleton, who manages to prevent the corner, puts out for the throw-in on the far side. But Killie fans are unhappy with something off the ball there.
It was Killie and Phillips, and I just caught it as the player went to ground, but it looks like an off-the-ball incident. Again, though, we're not going to know what happened.
Nope, no VAR, so... Yeah, it's even one if you're a player and you know there is VAR, you're hoping if I just stay down they might check it, and you never know, but no one's coming to the rescue of Kilmarnock here.
I think Gogic is saying he's ran into him.
It was Phillips, I think.
Yeah, it was Phillips back in there. But I have to say, I was looking at the play, so I didn't really see. I just saw someone going to the ground.
The referee's the same. He's following the ball, and then the player hits the deck. Phillips kind of pulled his hands out saying I didn't do anything, but we're not going to know. So treatment being administered on the AstroTurf here. It is Kilmarnock 1, St Mirren 2, 75th minute at Rugby Park in the first of the quarter-finals in the League Cup, and it is also still 1-1 St Johnstone against Dunfermline. And now Mark O'Hara's gone down, and there's going to be a change made by St Mirren here, and Mark O'Hara is going to come off.
It's a two-handed push by Phillips.
Right.
It's a two-handed push at the edge of the box.
And Liam Donnelly is on against his former club, hence the boos. In midfield for St Mirren for the final 15 minutes plus stoppage time, as the guys just get another look at this off-the-ball incident. Who is it that was pushed?
Bruce Anderson.
Anderson, yeah. Throwing on the far side it is to Kilmarnock as they try and get back into this game. Donnelly wins the header. and then it comes off Thompson and goes for a St Mirren throw, and things just going in St Mirren's favour at the moment. And then a yellow card comes out for Robbie Dees, the Kilmarnock captain, must be for his protests. Try and get a second look at this shove. We're at the mercy of Wi-Fi and technology, but Alan reckons it's two-handed shove from Phillips.
Regardless, it's not given. Anyway, the referee can't see it, the assistants can't see it.
Thrown down the line by Richardson and headed by Kilmarnock, breaks for St Mirren, but they give it away. Brown's intercepted, and then he surges forward and he's tripped by John. Advantage being played here. Bruce Anderson has it right hand side of the St Mirren box, back to Brown. Cross isn't the best, and Liam Donnelly clears. Headed forward by Stanger. Bounces. Declan John tries to deal with it, but Bruce Anderson has the ball now. Brown squeezes across to the near post. Kilty's made a good run and then tried to play it across, and Gogic made the block. Kilmarnock corner as they search for an equaliser.
Kilty's been the best player for Kilmarnock, hands down. Really, really good.
Yeah, he's full of energy. Brings that quality as well. Corner Kilmarnock on this near side, and it is going to be Kilty. Delivers with the right foot, hoists it to the back post. Jamal George kind of half came there and then stopped in a ruck of bodies, but it harmlessly sailed over everyone out to the far side. St Mirren defending a 2-1 advantage, 13 of the 90 left. Now it's Mayo, curls the ball and controlled by Dackers. Dackers tried to clip it into the box, blocked by Bacchus, and then it's played back to Thompson just outside the centre circle. And it's a rather straight ball, meat and drink for St Mirren, who can now break through Jonah Ayunga. He's got Dees for company, but he's got away from him, and then he tries to go in between him and Mayo as well. Both of them have been yellow carded, but Mayo recovered. And now Kilmarnock are on the offensive. Kilty up to Anderson, just keeps it in. No, he doesn't. His first touch was not the best, and then he's writhing in a bit of pain, but the decision's gone against him anyway, so may as well get to his feet, and he does. Change made. Marley Watkins is on for Liam Polworth for Kilmarnock. Striker on for midfielder Stuart Kettlewell. Throws the kitchen sink at it. He has to. 2-1 down, 12 to play the 90 in a cup quarter final.
Yeah, it's a very positive substitution, as you would imagine, with 12 minutes left. But what does St Mirren do? Because if Kilmarnock go and play 3 up, as they probably should, what does St Mirren do? Do they drop into a 4?
And Donnelly's ball is dangerous for Richardson. Thompson got his body just in front and he's defended the situation well, Thompson. His clearance is rather sliced though under pressure, and that means St Mirren have a throw halfway up Kilmarnock territory. They get on with it, and now Donnelly for Phillips, crosses from deep, it's a floater, and Stryjek gathers.
Man for man now at the back. Great kick again.
Launched
what
into space from Stryjek. It's just a wee bit too much on it. Jamal George came out his box to clear it. Won by Stanger, and Donnelly's there. Plays it, and then Lewis Mayo's lost sight of that, but luckily Mandron was too far away to get there before the goalkeeper Stryjek.
You get the impression St Mirren are going to have to do some defending in these last 10 or so minutes. Whatever else is added on, Kelly will throw everything at this. You can see Stuart Kettlewell down below us gesticulating.
The 2 managers, brilliant.
Yep.
Who would be a manager? Their blood pressure.
You've done it, have you not?
Never again. It's the worst 10 games of my life.
Luckily we enjoy your company up here, Alan, so it's all good. As Donnelly plays that forward, and Robbie Dees launches that forward, and you expect Alex Gogic is going to have and the rest of the St Mirren back three are going to have a sore head between now and the end of the game, because they're going to have to do an awful lot of defending, and Kilmarnock want a free kick. They ain't going to get it. It's a throw-in just at halfway. Stanger back to the feet of Mayo. Kilmarnock 1, St Mirren 2. 80 minutes on the clock in the first quarter-final in the Premier Sports Cup. Dees, who scored Kilmarnock's equaliser a minute before the break, to Thompson, who launched it forward, and the flag goes up against Dackers, who run in behind, and George, the goalkeeper, eventually got there anyway. And still you feel there could be more drama in this
They'll
game.
get a chance. It's whether or not they can convert it. That's the thing. You always get a chance.
St Mirren will be doing their utmost to try and prevent that. Jamal George, formerly of Livingston, sends it long. Chased by Mandron for Bacchus, who shoots from distance, blocked by Stanger. John in the air, helps it down the left-hand side, bounces for Brown, who clears it up. Anderson loses out to Freckleton, and then it's Donnelly and John down the line for Donnelly, right on the touchline. Brown has a bite back at him, but he's managed to get the cross away. Mandron, edge of the box, Phillips, good pass into the area, and then the effort from Richardson is blocked. Back to King, centre half, into Phillips' corner of the area, and he has it taken off his toes, but it goes out for a throw-in to St Mirren on the far side, and they will just want to keep it up here. Still 8.5 minutes of the regular time to play here at Rugby Park, and it is the St Mirren fans. You can hear nearly around 2,000 of them. Into Ayunga, gets it out his feet brilliantly, then looks for Mandron, excellent touch, it's Mikael Mandron to finish it, straight at the goalkeeper, he should have done better.
It should have. Ayunga's turn and layoff to him are absolutely sensational. He finds himself in the middle of the goals. Again, could he have taken another touch slightly forward? He decides to hit, but straight at the goalkeeper. Really poor finish from him. That could have been it sewn up.
I mean, as a striker playing with confidence, you expect him to just roll that into the corner.
It's a pass into the corner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
As cleared by Freckleton down the left-hand side. Kilmarnock need to come up with a moment to force extra time here. Mandron on the touchline, into Donnelly, flick that up to Bacchus, back to Donnelly, and that's a really good pass into space in front of Richardson. Richardson steps onto it, he's up to the edge of the box, and his pass is poor for Bacchus. Dees intercepts, and now Kilty stabs it forward for Anderson, and then Watson just launches it for Dackers to chase. King's underneath it and plays it out first time for a throw-in on the far side in line with the edge of the St Mirren box. Changes coming, 2 of them for Kilmarnock. Kyle McGuinness is one of them.
Danger's off.
Yeah, Brown goes off, and Ben Brannan is on as well. And it looked like it was going to be Stanger, but then he's told to stay on the pitch. So
changed it.
yeah,
They don't know who's to go off like.
They don't know now.
this is shades of Aberdeen in the Scottish Cup Scottish Cup final win.
It's Dees?
I have no idea.
He's really going for this now.
Well,
Is it Dees?
Yeah.
Kyle McGuinness is
Must be going to a 4 at the back.
He's been allowed to come on eventually, so Brannan and McGuinness are on. And Dees,
Dees has played well.
yeah, he's off. Now the captain. Watson's long throw into the box, headed away at the near post by St Mirren, back to Thompson. Kilmarnock desperately seeking an equaliser with 6 to play of normal time. Richardson was uncertain there, and he allows Kilmarnock in, and then Kilmarnock go down. Penalty given! Penalty to Kilmarnock! What drama at the end here! Marley Watkins filled in the box, and Kilmarnock have a chance to get back on level terms with 6 to play. Incredible.
Well, is it Richard King that does it in the end? I mean, for me, I think he doesn't see the blind run behind him. Hesitates, dangles a foot. Now the big question, we're about 150 yards from it, is was there contact? He's saying there wasn't, but again, we don't know because we've not got VAR. Now, we'll get a wee look in Alan's phone once it all loads up, but one thing's for certain, Kelly have a penalty.
Well, there's no VAR check, exactly.
Oh, Bruce Anderson is over it here.
It's just a break of the ball they got in the box. There we go.
Can Kilmarnock get the equaliser? Steps up, scores! Straight down the middle. And Kilmarnock take full advantage of their lifeline. And this League Cup quarter-final. At the moment, with 5 to play, is heading for extra time because it is Kilmarnock 2, St Mirren 2.
It's a good penalty kick from Bruce Anderson, straight down the middle, and no chance for Jamal George. He dives. But the thing is now for Stuart Kettlewell, he's brought on that many subs and attacking subs to go and try and get back in this match. He's now got too many forward type players on.
And the yellow card is issued to the St Mirren bench, and Stephen Robinson, St Johnstone have just scored against Dunfermline, now 2-1 up at McDermott Park. And well, drama at Rugby Park. Bruce Anderson's penalty, making it all square again with just 4 of the 90 left. Gogic heads it into the midfield area. Donnelly back to King, out to Richardson. Richardson plays it into space, and he's got real gas. So does Thompson though, and he gets back under pressure from Richardson, puts it out for a throw-in. And there's still easily enough time for a winner here. Breathless stuff in Ayrshire.
Now credit to Stuart Kettlewell. He threw everything at it as we thought he would in these last 10 minutes with the substitutions that he's made, and he's got his reward.
Now defended to do though for Kilmarnock, because this is going to be launched into their box. Here it comes from Bacchus. King at the near post, touches it, can't control it, and it is behind for a goal kick. 87 played, Kilmarnock 2, St Mirren 2, and I guess this tie has been pretty much everything we expected it to be.
Said that very tight. That's us now with what, 3 minutes to go, plus it's ever added on. Still can't separate them. We thought that at the start of the game.
Good combination play from St Mirren down the left. Bacchus, it looked like he was pulled there by Watson. Referee disagrees, and on we go. Ben Brannan into McGuinness, who threads a really nice pass for Watkins, who's on the march. Now out to Dackers. Dackers curls a dangerous ball in, and it's touched away by King at the back post, just as Bruce Anderson was steaming in there. Throw into Kilmarnock now.
Well, he took a bit of a risk there, King, for me, trying to clear that with a back heel. Luckily for him, it didn't come to anything, but Kilmarnock have the chance to launch this one into the box. Long throw coming. Again, everybody loaded in at the edge of the 6-yard box.
Here it comes from David Watson. Into the near post, won by Mandron. And Brannan heads it back to Watson, to academy graduates. Dangerous ball. Mandron's there doing his defensive work in a centre half position. The big striker knocks it away with his head. And Gogic lashes it downfield. And suddenly St Mirren are the ones looking a bit nervous here. Controlled brilliantly by Kilty. Flag stays down, and he knocks it down the right hand side of the box. Watkins makes a run. His cross is blocked by John, who is able to clear.
It's all Kelly.
And they've flicked on by Dackers, and only as far as John. And now Freckleton, and his pass hits off Greg Kilty, and out for a throw-in. We've played almost 89 minutes, and 2 changes coming now for St Mirren. Roland Idowu and Alec Dykesdale are going to come on for St Mirren. Kiana Bacchus is one of those to make way on a yellow card, of course, and it's just a need for some fresh legs, I would guess, Stephen Thompson.
Yeah, I mean, I think you don't know how long the fourth official is going to put up here. And they end up with another 5-6 minutes to go. Kilmarnock have got that fresh legs, they've got the impetus, so Stephen Robinson just trying to get a wee bit of energy onto the pitch.
Yeah, Jonah Iunga makes way as well, and they throw it back to Alex Gogic. Kilmarnock 2, St Mirren 2. Brilliant cup tie. Flicked on by Mandron. Dykesdale was behind him, and then he lost his footing in pursuit. Brannan heads it to McGuinness. Watson out to the left wing back Thompson, who's recovered from a poor start. Watson back to Mayo. Mayo for Stanger. Kilty for Brannan. The touchline into Watson. Watson, 4 added minutes at the end of this 90 here at Rugby Park. Are we going to get a winner, or are we heading for extra time? Richard King controls at the back for St Mirren. Goes back to Shamal George. And now tiredness plays a part, fatigue, nerves with what's at stake. Flicked on by Mandron. Dykesdale can't gather, but Mandron will at the second attempt. Dispossessed by Watson. Now McGuinness gallops over the halfway line. Kilmarnock threatening here. Out to the left-hand side. Cross comes in. And their header deflects off a St Mirren player, and then Gogic blasts it clear. Throw in on the far side.
Terrific stuff, it really has. The game's gone in the same pattern. St Mirren took the lead, dominated that opening period. Kilmarnock got the equaliser, they dominated. Second half the same. St Mirren go ahead, they dominate. Kilmarnock get a goal, they dominate.
We've played 1 minute of the 4 added, and it's another David Watson long throw. Certainly the fans have been entertained tonight. Watson, and it's headed forward, flicked on by Watkins, and then just dribbles through to Shamal George.
He had more time than he thought there. He goes for the kind of spectacular back heel. If it comes off, it would have been incredible, but just secure your touch, try and get a layoff for somebody to get a shot.
Shamal George goes long. Thompson's header straight to Dykesdale, but then his right-footed.
Come on, man.
It was supposed to be a cushioned pass, but it was anything but over the head of Mandron, out for a throw-in.
Yeah, poor again, could have taken a touch, rushed the pass.
This game is anybody's drama at the end. I don't know if did you have a chance to have another look at that penalty? I don't know, was it a penalty? It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell. Even seeing it, it's hard to tell.
Now Kilmarnock on the ball again through Kilty. Brannan in the bright pink boots, crosses from very deep. Shamal George thought about coming, then stayed, and then the strike on the volley from Watkins was well off target.
It's only Van Basten that could do something like
exactly.
that.
How ambitious was that? Just take your touch. Yeah, I suppose I mean, it's actually been a really good game to watch this, and it's kind of ebbed and flowed, and it's gone with one team and another, like Alan said. But what did we say at the very beginning? There'll be little between these teams, and I bet you it's extra time.
Yeah, but it's been a good game. 2-2, I asked for 3-2, so I can't grumble. It's been very good.
Yeah, gripping stuff. Rugby Park as St Mirren go long, and again Mandron just always managed to get something on it. As it's played up the side of the St Mirren defence, Freckleton deals with it, and then he's tried to dribble up the line, and he's got the throw in, much to the ire of Kilmarnock and the fans. But Freckleton waiting to take this throw in. We've got a minute left of the 4 added in this quarter-final. It's 2-2 between Kilmarnock and St Mirren. St Mirren have twice led, been pegged back. And it is Freckleton being forced to retreat a few yards after nicking them.
He'll run forward and throw it. No, he doesn't. Always happens to get sent back, and then they run forward and throw it, make the yards up again.
King chips it out to Richardson on the far side, turns back to face his own goal, looking for a bit of help, gets it from Phillips going towards the touchline. Phillips full of energy, and then back heels and shakes off his marker and comes inside the pitch. Donnelly, Freckleton, he's got space to cross here if he wants it, plays it into the edge of the box. Dykesdale's there, then back to Freckleton. Freckleton couldn't keep his balance as he tried to barrel his way through the Killie defence. St Mirren still have it. Dykesdale has come off the outside of his right boot.
That is a shank if I've seen one.
He's having a bit of a shocker since he's come on. Now King sends the ball in, it's over Phillips, headed by Brannan. Oh, it's nervous at Rugby Park, and there is the full-time whistle. We are going to extra time. We'd rather expected it, but with just 6 minutes of the 90 left, it was St Mirren who were heading to Hampden. But Bruce Anderson's penalty given for a trip by King on Watkins. Anderson stepping up and converting means we are heading for extra time. St Mirren twice led in the first half. Fabulous individual effort from Mikael Mandron, cancelled out by a brilliant header from Robbie Dees after Thompson's free kick. And St Mirren back in front with a true screamer from Richardson. But that Anderson penalty means we've got another half hour at least to come here at Rugby Park full time. As Kilmarnock 2, St Mirren 2.
The Scottish League Cup.
Live on Sports Sound.
Scottish football lives here.
On BBC Radio Scotland.
Saturday morning, such a special time.
It's great to be back on the radio with you.
I'm Amy Irons.
And I'm Stephen Mill.
Join us for the Saturday show. 3 hours of chat, guests, music, all the big stories of the week and sport.
If there's something happening in Scotland on a Saturday morning, we want to know about it. We want to be speaking about it.
And put a bit of a smile on your face. The Saturday show, 9 a.m. tomorrow. Listen on BBC Radio Scotland and on Sounds.
Where you are listening to Sports Sound here with Liam McLeod at Rugby Park. How's your nerves? Kilmarnock and St Mirren supporters and even neutrals will be captivated by what they are listening into here in the first of the Scottish League Cup quarter-finals. 2 apiece. It finished after 90 minutes between Kilmarnock and St Mirren. Desmond, as it's known in the trade, Stephen, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Desmond Tutu. It's been a very enjoyable cup tie, I must admit. It's just flown by. I couldn't believe how long into the match we were actually when I looked up at the clock there. It looked like St Mirren were set for victory with that sublime Jayden Richardson goal. It really was. If you get a chance to watch this at some point, and it'll pop up I'm sure on social media platforms if you're that way inclined. It's a fabulous goal. The take from just outside the box on the volley is sumptuous. Bruce Anderson's penalty though, taking this one to extra time. Remember, we've got 2 humdingers tomorrow, one at Pittodrie, Aberdeen against Motherwell, a 3 o'clock kickoff. The Dons have had a dreadful start to the season. Motherwell looking very exciting. You don't really know what you're going to get result-wise from them, albeit quite a lot of draws in recent times. They will travel north with confidence, as Hibs will travel west with confidence as they go to take on a beleaguered Rangers in that second quarter-final tomorrow, the 3rd all told. And then it's Partick Thistle Celtic on Sunday. That's a 3:30 kickoff. Ibrox 5:45, Pittodrie 3. Dundee Livingston in the league as well tomorrow. It's finished 2-1 to St Johnstone. They've come from behind to beat Dunfermline in the Championship. The game was live in front of the BBC cameras. Let's get back then to Stephen Thompson, Alan Preston and Thomas Duncan for the first period of extra time. A killie change, Thomas.
Yeah, looks like it. But what a treat it is to get an extra 30 minutes of this game. I have to say, Liam, I was looking at my notes as you
Who is it, Liam? Tell us, put us out of misery. I'm not talking now, I'm a presenter.
I was scrambling my notes together as that Kilmarnock change was made.
Mackenzie.
So, yeah, Rory Mackenzie. I can see him there. Thank you, Tomo. Liam laughing away there. So yeah, Rory Mackenzie is on.
Being a team player.
Oh, God. Rory Mackenzie is on for Kilmarnock. St Mirren kick us off. It is 2-2. Extra time, potentially penalties to come in this brilliant cup quarter final at Rugby Park. 2 evenly matched sides. We said it before the game. It's been proved over the 90 minutes. Another 30 to come. Richard King plays it forwards and drops for Phillips. And Adowu replaced Ayunga. He's coming up towards the edge of the box, throws a step over, then he goes on the outside. Adowu, he just didn't pull the trigger, then hoists it to the back post, headed back for John, but it was read by Brannan. He did really well. Now he's surging up the right hand side, but he runs out of road. It goes out for a throw in. I just thought Adowu was going to.
He should have hit it on his right foot after his 19th step over when he made space, but then he chops back again and floats one to the back post, nodded down, but it was well read by young Brannan.
It was indeed. Richardson maybe raging his goal. Turned out to be the winner.
It would have been fitting to win a game, that's for sure, but not to be.
Here's Richard King. Scans the pitch. Under a wee bit of pressure, not too much from Dackers, the towering centre forwards. Freckleton fires it into man drawn and then it pins into midfield. Rory Mackenzie. A decade and a half with Kilmarnock. And McGuinness pops it off to Thompson. Curls it forwards. King's header. Drops on Dykesdale's head. Back goes David Watson. Hooks it forward. Straight to Declan John. For Donnelly. And then Freckleton. I guess this is where it starts to become a bit tense. You don't want to make the mistake that cost your team a place in the semi-finals of the League Cup. Gogic controls it at the back, under no pressure. 1-2 with King. And Kilmarnock just choosing not to press at the moment, just staying in their shape. King. And he's going to go back to Shamal George here. And there's a almost nervy silence amongst most of the ground. As Mandron again gets a touch off the chest away to Richardson, and then out to Adowu on this right-hand side. Adowu running at Thompson. Up to the edge of the box, comes in on the left foot, then tried to leave it for Phillips. It's an underhit pass, and then he bundles Marley Watkins to the artificial turf and gives away the free kick. And that's a promising position spurned by St Mirren there.
Again, he did the kind of hard bit well, gets past his man, then pick a pass, put a ball in the box, tries to lay it off and gets it all wrong.
Stryjek pings it forward with the right boot. Dackers, and his touch is heavy, but he does keep it in, and well, he doesn't.
He looks tired.
Yeah. And St Mirren are trying to get on with it. The referee saying no, get back on the mark. So King throws it back to Alex Gogic, and Stephen Robinson, he'll have wrapped up the kilometres in his 90 plus minutes, prowling his technical area. Here's McKenzie, forced backwards. Stanger stays calm and knocks it to Mayo, now wearing the captain's armband after Dee's departure. And Thompson up the left hand side for Kilmarnock, ball into the feet of Watkins. They try to free Dackers down the left hand side, but it was blocked by a St Mirren player and out for a throw in.
He's going into the game, Thompson, with a real shaky 10-15 minutes at the start, but he's got better and better pass there into the feet.
Yeah, interesting, it was Greg Kilty who went off for Rory McKenzie until I just had nothing left in the tank after not stopping for.
Yeah, he had a great match, and it was one of those nights when you know your touch is just in. Everything he touched was really, really good, positive. First touch excellent, hardly gave the ball away.
Thompson for McKenzie in the centre circle. Pass to McGuinness, then up the line for Dackers. Two St Mirren players on him, back to McGuinness, then McKenzie. Bit of space here, gives it to Watson, then McKenzie, and that's poor. Don't know what that was.
Don't know what he's seen there.
No, just straight through to the goalkeeper. It was neither a cross nor a shot. 4.5 minutes played of extra time. 2-2. Up towards Mandron, who's been manhandled there by Lewis Mayo, but David Dickinson seems happy with it, and it's played forwards. Up to Bruce Anderson, who's found Dackers. Touch isn't the best, and it allows King to make a challenge, but he's won it back. Dackers, then out to Brannan on the right hand side. And his cross goes into the stands.
But you've got to say what Anderson brings to the game that Daniels and Dackers don't, is that he brought that down there, linked up, and got himself in the box.
Yeah, just makes these wee darting runs, Bruce Anderson.
Yeah, he's a pest to play against as well. Doesn't give the centre-halves a second.
He's a kind of underrated player. I say 11 goals last season, Kilmarnock's top scorer. He got 10 for Livy the season before that, and he wasn't a regular starter he wasn't starting week in, week out for either of those teams at times. So I know he takes penalties as he showed tonight, but he is good for a goal. And Watson plays it behind to no one. Gogic saunters after it, controls. It's just got a bit scrappy, almost as if the stakes have been raised.
Yeah, they don't want to make a mistake, really. It's going to cost them. You just think, just blow it now and go to penalties and take our chances.
Of course, that's what happens in the group stage these days, are the bonus points on offer. Both these sides lost a shootout in the group stages. St Mirren to Arbroath and Kilmarnock to Kelty after goalless draws. Here comes St Mirren though, played inside, chance here for John, and the shot from inside the box over the top, and he's got his hands on his face because he thinks that was a golden opportunity.
Yeah, if it was on his left foot, it'd have been a better opportunity for him. Dyke-Steele does well, lays him inside, takes a touch. He's trying to get it in the far top corner, but it's all Wills going over the bar. So a couple of changes.
Jaden Richardson is coming off to be replaced by Dan and Lundulu, and then Kilmarnock, what a shift he's put in. And he's off. I think he's raging. He's been taken off there.
Freeman.
Like he got on the end of almost anything that went up to him. It might not have been always the cleanest, but he always got something on the ball, and just a menace up there. And St Mirren responding to Kilmarnock's changes up towards Anderson. Gogic had to deal with it, puts it out on the far side. 7.5 played in extra time, still 2-2. Killy throw, likely to go into the penalty area. And both sides desperate to reach a rare Hampden semi-final. Brannan is going to take and throws it towards the near post. Won by Rundeloo and then crossed in, near post. Donnelly's header, and Brannan will just let that bounce and go out for another throw in so he can throw it back into the penalty area. 2-2. Brannan gets on with it. Freckleton's header bounces on the edge of the box. McKenzie then tries to drop it over the top. Watkins is there, tussling with Richard King, who's won that battle, and then offloads the ball. And then there's a foul on Conor McMenamin just on the pitch. Put his body in front. And St Mirren get the free kick just on this near sides. And both sides, I think obviously the subs help bring fresh energy, but it can also disrupt the kind of momentum, the flow of a game, and that's kind of what seems to be happening.
Well, yeah, Kilmarnock have had to change shape with the subs that they've made as well, and the game's kind of lacked energy a wee bit in the first half of this extra time. You can understand that. There's nerves as well, as Alan rightly points out. Nobody wants to be the person that makes the mistake, so you don't take the risk.
Oh, Adowu's pinched that right hand side of the Kilmarnock box. Low cross, deflected, and Watson's on the edge of the area to clear. Dackers away from Adowu, and then gives it to McKenzie, gets it back, but you don't really want your number 9 in the left back position. Mayo in his own box goes back to Stryek, and it's a bit of a loose clearance, and McMenamin is shoved in or barged into and gets a free kick about 10 yards into the Kilmarnock half. 10 minutes played in extra time, 2-2.
After a brilliant 90 odd minutes, this has been really poor in extra time. Both teams just look scared. They're scared to go forward, they just don't want to make mistakes. But it might take one mistake or one flash of brilliance to put your team into the semi-final.
Killian Phillips over this free kick for St Mirren. Twice they have led in this quarter-final. Phillips plays it along the ground, run from Adowu, and he's ended up jinking out of the box, and then his cross is blocked by Thompson, and it comes off Phillips, and it's going to be it's a St Mirren throw-in, I beg your pardon. I think Phillips looked frustrated. I thought he'd not got the decision, but I think he was frustrated that the ball didn't come to him earlier. Short option offered by McMenamin, but there's only one thing in Killian Phillips' mind here as he drives the ball in front of the main stand here at Rugby Park. Throws it to the near post, and then it's a flicked header right as the ball was heading goalwards. Here's Declan John inside the box. Ball into the 6-yard area. Thompson's header, then Brannan has no option but to send it behind for a corner under pressure.
There's last gasp defender there. It's a decent ball in from Declan John. Headed away. Corner's taken quickly. Shot.
And Kilmarnock have 2 out there to deal with it. John goes on the outsides, closed down by Brannan, and then tries to win the corner so they can have a replay, and in the end they've got it. Just trying to inject a bit of intensity there, St Mirren.
It was slack. It was Bruce Anderson, I think. The ball just ricocheted off his knee. Didn't need to be a corner. Puts him under pressure. It's going to be Killian Phillips with the in-swinger.
Places the ball on the AstroTurf. Stephen Robinson gesturing furiously as he tends to do.
He's wanting Donnelly to get in. You see Donnelly wanting up to get rid of that back post area.
Here is Phillips, edge of the 6-yard box. Try it.
Good goalkeeping.
Yeah. Just came a long way, but got it decisively. No fuss.
There is no greater sight when you're defending a corner than your goalie coming out a good 10 yards and catching it. It's brilliant.
Made a terrific save in that as well, that the one from Killian Phillips that he tipped under the bar. Seems like a lifetime ago, that chance. Idowu surging infield, and then he lays it forward to Dijksteel. Chance here for St Mirren, gets on the right foot, and then a crucial touch at the last minute from Stanger, I think. Just got a toe on it, just as Dijksteel thought he'd got away and nipped inside him. And then it was just about pulling the trigger, but good defending in the end. And Idowu bundles over the player on the far side, and another change coming for Kilmarnock on this near side down in front of us. And it's going to be Jack Thompson, man who was signed as a free agent from Queen's Park. Now he's told to sit down by Stevie Frail. Or is he? Loitering.
Yeah, they're waiting.
Yeah, I'm going to wait. The midfielder.
I just wonder if they can go back to a 3. And they can put Thompson in there, which will allow the other Thompson to go forward.
Gogic's header out of defence. Mayo returns it with a bit of interest. Freckleton goes up, loses out, but Gogic recovers well as Marley Watkins, who's running off the shoulder, throw into Kilmarnock over on the far side. We've got 2 minutes left of the first period of extra time. No goals in extra time. 2-2 after the 90. And Brannan throws it to McKenzie, gets it back first time, and fires it back to Lewis Mayo, who controls and goes back to his goalkeeper. Stryak sends it long. Dackers off the chest to Watson, who controls and then sends it long, and then Bruce Anderson was kind of stumbling backwards there as he tried to get underneath that ball, and it goes through to Shamal George.
It was a hopeful ball. Bruce Anderson's up against it against Freckleton and Gogic to try and win the aerial battle. He does get his head on it, but can't secure possession.
Gogic along the edge of his own box with a pass to Shamal George. He's got plenty of time. Knock it into the D, and then looks for the ball for McMenamin, who gets up well and flicks it to Idowu. Challenge from Mayo. Throw into St Mirren down in front of us towards the corner flag. And Phillips trotting across, taking his time, getting a little breather in the final minute of the first period of extra time. We may see a minute added, we may not. Fourth official yet to signal as Phillips drives the ball. Here he goes. Throws it into the penalty area, near post, flicked on by King, and then headed out, and then Liam Donnelly couldn't step onto it. And Freckleton with a rather loose header, and then McMenamin has bundled over Bruce Anderson. Be a free kick just inside the Kilmarnock half to Kilmarnock. Can't take your eyes off this, although quality has dipped since extra time, no doubt. Dom Thompson, and we are going to get one added minute at the end of this first period of extra time. Stephen Robinson screaming at his players to get back. Thompson taking his time. It's a very high line here as it's played from the halfway line by Thompson. Gogic shouts for it and heads it only as far as McGuinness. Out to Brannan. Oh, touch inside from Brannan. Crosses it on the left foot, flicked header from Marley Watkins, goes by the near post. 2-2.
Never in any danger. Good play by Brannan, whips it in. Marley Watkins loses his bearings. It's never anywhere near the goals there. And that should be about us, Thomas, I will imagine.
Yeah, final 15 seconds of the first period of extra time. And Shamal George is in no rush to get things going again. The players will just accept the quick breather, change of ends, and we'll get another 15 or so. And there it is. No goals in extra time. The stalemate that played out in the 94 minutes prevails. And so the players retreat and get some instructions and some water on. And we're about to get another 15 plus potentially penalties. 2-2.
The Scottish League Cup.
Live on Sports Sound.
Scottish football lives here.
On BBC Radio Scotland.
Sports Sound with Liam McLeod here on BBC Radio Scotland Extra, on digital and online at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. If you are tuning in to the station just now and hoping to hear Ashley's story, that will be beginning at 10 o'clock on BBC Radio Scotland FM and on Sounds for the football. Stick with us here on Extra and on medium wave and on digital, and once we are done here we will join up with the FN frequency, and that is Ashley Storey. Alan mentioned it during the first period of extra time. There's 2-2 Kilmarnock St Mirren at half-time and extra time in the first of the League Cup quarter-finals, about doing away with the extra half hour and going straight to a shootout as they do in the group stage. And I know UEFA were contemplating doing that. I think it was in sort of February, March time they were discussing just going straight to a penalty shootout after 90 minutes. There's so many games that these guys are playing these days that there's a really good argument that going straight to a shootout would make sense. Remember the final of this tournament last year, brilliant second half. It was 1-0 Rangers at half-time. It finished 3-3 after 90 minutes. Nothing happened in extra time. And then it went to the penalties eventually. Will this one go to penalties? Let's find out with Alan, Stephen and Thomas.
Thanks, Liam. Yeah, well, no VAR tonight means less stoppage time, which means we're not probably going to get the nearly 120, 35 minutes you sometimes get in these cup ties these days. And we're underway again, still 2-2, no goals in extra time. And these evenly matched sides have delivered a brilliant cup tie, cut back by Dackers. Now it's McKenzie just inside the area, deflects off a St Mirren player, and the header from Freckleton's not the best, and then the flag goes up, offside. St Mirren will breathe a sigh of relief there. And who could be the hero on either side here? Because you feel one goal probably does it.
And this must be difficult for officials as well here, because normally with VAR in place you let the play run through and then you can put your flag up, but here they've got to put the flag up instantly, so it must be difficult for them, and they don't have VAR in place.
And Lundaloo battling for St Mirren, and it's a throw in to Kilmarnock just over halfway on the far side. Jaden Richardson with a quite sumptuous volley. Looked like it might have won this game for St Mirren. It deserved to in terms of its sheer quality, but Bruce Anderson's penalty 6 minutes from the end of the 90 minutes is why we're here. A minute and a half nearly into the second period of extra time, and Thompson plays it forwards. Watkins is underneath it. Gogic wins the header, and then it's forwards by King, and Stryek takes no chances, lashes it forward, comes down and it bounces, and Gogic wins the second ball, and Donnelly helps it on with his head, and it's just almost both teams trying to just get it up the park and hope the other make a mistake, and you just feed off a second ball, anything a flick on.
What you have to say is Kilmarnock have got all their strikers in the boots on the pitch.
Brannan control, first time pass actually, brilliant to Watson, right hand side of the box, low cross, Gogic wins the race, got a toe on that, as Brannan collects on the right hand side of the area. He's taken on Freckleton, who's got a really good challenge in and prevented the corner as well, and then he plays it up, but there's no one up for St Mirren. Straight to Lewis Mayo, into Stanger, McKenzie, Brannan on the touchline. His pass is picked off by Donnelly, who goes back to John, who clears it, and Phillips wins that. Falls for Dykesdale, touch inside, and he's got support from Adowu, and then his second touch is so heavy, and that was a really promising situation for St Mirren.
It was. Killian Phillips does well to win the second. Oops.
And it's over the top, and chance here from Marley Watkins is in behind. Recovery from Freckleton. Watson squeezes it across. Falls now for Dackers. Can he get it under control? He's closed down, and then he plays it across, but it's straight to the goalkeeper. And then it was Kilmarnock's turn to have a promising opportunity. Couldn't make it pay. Breathless stuff. And then it's ricocheting off players. Adowu going after this. Thompson into McKenzie in midfield.
There's big spaces now on the pitch. The players look knackered.
It's there for the taking. McKenzie halfway up St Mirren's half. Out to Brannan on the touchline. Back to McKenzie. Crosses it first time. Is a dangerous one. Headed away. Watson wins the challenge, but only goes to Donnelly, fires it up to Nlundaloo, who's going to run at Stanger. He doesn't have a huge amount of support, but he's holding it up well. Comes in on the right foot, then checks back on the left. Low shot, comfortable for Stryjek, who went down to his left-hand side. And it suddenly opened up.
Yeah, it did. He did well, actually. Showed a good bit of pace down his left-hand side. Cuts in. I thought he was going to hit it in his left. Shaped to hit it in his right. Cut back in his left. Eventually did get the shot away. It was never going by Stryjek. And there's a wee bit of cramp. It's got to be expected. I think I'm going to take cramp up here.
Yeah, he's about to come off George Stanger, and Zach Williams, the 21-year-old Welshman on loan from Crewe, Alexandra, is going to come on in that Kilmarnock defence. Well, both sides are giving absolutely everything.
This is when that one wee mistake can happen, though.
Yeah,
when the legs aren't quite telling, or the brain isn't quite telling the legs what to do.
You could actually see when he was trying to get back there, Stanger, he was toiling. You could just see cramp about to set in.
And he gets a really warm ovation from the home fans all around us. Some of them get to their feet and he applauds back. Some shifts from the defender, and Zach Williams is on for just his second Kilmarnock appearance. So we shall see how that impacts things. We've got 10 minutes left of extra time in this League Cup quarter-final. 2-2 between Kilmarnock and St Mirren at Rugby Park. Stryjek long. King, looked like it might have come off an arm of the Kilmarnock player, cleared by McMenamin. Thompson, first time, sends it back. Dackers lets it bounce, and it's rather awkward. It's bouncing about horribly for both, and then eventually McMenamin wins it, and he's surging up the right-hand side. Showed too much of it to Thompson, who's got a foot in, and then goes back to David Watson, and then on to McKenzie. And Thompson has been really good since that shaky first opening 10 or 15 minutes.
He has. He's played his part in one of the goals for Robbie Dees, and he's defended well, especially there. That was a really good piece of defending.
Back to Stryjek. He looks a wee bit uncomfortable and gets rid of it. Straight to Phillips, just outside the centre circle, and that was a tasty challenge from Watkins. Goes in, tried to win the ball. St Mirren have it. Phillips to John. Back to Freckleton. Freckleton to King. King to Lundaloo. And he was at Bolton last season. Had his debut the weekend against Falkirk. Now it's Dyksdale. Shifts it onto the right foot, going towards the edge of the box. Good strength. He's running out of room though. And he just runs across the edge of the box. Gets rid of it to McMenamin. Comes inside. Back to King. Phillips lifts his pass out to the far sides, and then across from Adowu's block, throw in on the far side. 2-2.
Yeah, we're going to get what's this, about our 20th long throw of the match. None of them have actually been all that effective, but it's going to be Killian Phillips to launch one in here. Maybe with the tired legs, they might get a break of the ball. Lack of concentration, you never know.
8 minutes of extra time left. Still nothing to choose between Kilmarnock and St Mirren in the League Cup. Killian Phillips waiting to deliver this ball with the arms. Here he comes towards Richard King, and then Thompson didn't deal with it. It comes back out to Phillips. His ball was curling away from his teammates. McMenamin scampers after the loose ball, and he does nothing effective with it. He just tried to look like he was trying to chip it over the top, but straight to the goalkeeper.
I think if you're the managers, you're looking at your penalty takers now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, St Mirren scored all of theirs against Hearts in the last round. King, Fraser, Adowu, Mooney, Dyksdale all scored. Not all of those on the pitch are available at present. Brannan lashes up the touchline. Freckleton forwards. Adowu and Phillips going in for the challenge, and Phillips wins it. McMenamin to Adowu on the right hand side. Trying to take on his man here. Adowu into the area, step over on the outside and back on to McMenamin. McMenamin just on the edge of the box, scoops across. Didn't have anything on it, but Declan John has emerged with the ball on the edge of the box. Now it's with Dykesdale, takes it to the byline, not just about, checks back on the right foot, onto the edge of the 6-yard box, and it comes off Thompson and spins into the grateful arms of Matt Strike. Might have been trickling wide anyway. But
yeah, it might have been, but Thompson doesn't know, he just puts a leg out and it goes back to the goalkeeper.
A tired leg.
Yeah, very tired leg. Wide left if he can hit it to Dackers.
Strike long, King heads it, and then Williams heads it back. Freckleton heads it to the feet of Declan John. And there's as much action in the dugouts as ever as there is on the pitch, as Lundaloo loses out in that challenge. Dackers offloads to Watson, and McKenzie back to Brannan in his own half.
I think the manager's right. Sorry, I think Stevie Robinson's right. He's wanting the strikers to get over the side of the ball's on. They're too far away for Declan John to hit them.
Zach Williams with the ball at the back for Kilmarnock under no pressure, and Lundaloo now comes across to close down Mayo. He chips it forward for Watkins, controls on the chest, offloads to Watson just outside the centre circle, back to Williams, and then a pass that is poor for Thompson, who will not appreciate chasing that after nearly 120 minutes in the legs, and it's actually gone out for St Mirren throw-in on the far side. Loose play from the substitute, giving up field's position and possession.
It's poor from Thompson as well, you know, you could just see how laboured he was. He takes his touch and lets it run out the pitch before he kicks it.
5 minutes left of extra time. The 4 goals the side shared in the 90 minutes. Still nothing to separate them. Back to Gogic. And Jamal George controls it in his own box, the St Mirren goalkeeper. And clips one to Declan John, but Dean Brannan read it, wins the header. And it's Bruce Anderson who spins and tries to put it in behind for Brannan. Too much on it. And back through to Jamal George, and we'll do it all again.
It's just so scrappy, isn't it? I mean, there's no football getting played now. It's just who can punt it forward, try and pick up a second, look for a mistake, and then a repeat.
Rolled out to Freckleton, centre back, slides a pass forward for John. Brilliant touch forward for Lundaloo. Takes it towards the left touchline. Dykesdale was wanting it, doesn't get it, and Lundaloo does really well to get away from McKenzie. Now it's Dykesdale, shot from distance, blocked, and that will be a St Mirren corner kick, and the fans behind the goal roar. A goal now, you would think, would be the winner.
Yeah, and Lundaloo does really well, pops it into Dykesdale. He was wanting the reverse pass, he's still moaning about it. Dykesdale goes for the shot, deflected behind for a corner. He's getting to this stage now, and if any goal now is definitely going to win it.
Conor McMenamin over on this near side to deliver for St Mirren. The referee is happy. Here comes McMenamin with the left foot, hook swinger, it's quite low, and then it hooks off a Kilmarnock player. There's some claims it was off a hands from the St Mirren fans. There was no appeals from players on the pitch.
It was a poor corner, to be honest. He's trying to go to the front post, but it was only at chest height. Had a wee ricochet, very difficult to see. And I doubt a referee's calling that one.
Yeah, I think the St Mirren players in the box are wanting a proper outswinger here from McMenamin. Take 2, and this time it is an outswinger, and it's Gogic who goes down, appealing rather half-heartedly. King has it, and he's under pressure from McKenzie, who has won his side a throw-in down near edge of their own box. Didn't see an awful lot in that one on Gogic, just
it's almost impossible to see. Yeah, there's packed box and somebody goes down, you've no idea what's happening.
Brannan's throw, 2.5 minutes of extra time left. We felt this could go the distance as Watson takes a real sore one as it came back down to the game there. And then it's headed by King, and then Freckleton, and McGuinness goes up, and Donnelly plays it forward first time through the air to Lundaloo, who's looked bright since coming on. Back to Donnelly. Donnelly, he was looking for a kind of switch into midfield, but it was easily read by McGuinness, who gives it to Watkins. David Watson still gingerly moving after he went up for the header and came down with a crash. And Dackers from distance blocked by Freckleton.
It has to go Brannan.
Now it's Dykesdale taking on Watson. Oh, what a challenge that is from David Watson, who's still shaking off that thud to the AstroTurf. And now Phillips involved in the challenge, and And it's going to be a St Mirren free kick, and the yellow card is issued. And that is
incredible stuff. Dackers has got cramp. He's struggling. I've seen him.
It was when he hit the shot. It's when he hit the shot. He just went, look him. Oh my God.
Beating the ground.
Oh,
it's as if the snipers come out.
He had to go right to Brannan and try and get himself in the box. He elects to hit it from where he is, which is fully 38, 39, 40 yards maybe.
Maybe he knew
he
only had one swing of the leg in him.
Oh man. Dackers. I don't know what kind of animal he was like there, but
giraffe, I thought, honestly.
I don't know what I was going to go with.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I shouldn't laugh. He's clearly in some discomfort, but
when you know it's just crap, you can have a wee laugh.
I know. It was just the kind of the way he went down and was kind of limbs everywhere. It was. He's getting stretched out now.
Once it sets in, it's difficult to get rid of the old cramp.
Yeah, he's probably done.
Well, he's lucky there's 1 minute left, I tell you that.
Maybe one of the penalty takers, that's the problem.
Yeah.
No. David Watson's given so much for this match. His energy levels have been absolutely frightening. I know he got booked there, but he's been everywhere, even getting into what we now like 29th minute of extra time. He's rightly getting applauded by the support as he goes off the side of the pitch after an injury.
Yeah. 2 minutes are going to be played. We've played that full half hour, but of course,
I don't think Dackers can continue. He's got cramp in both legs now.
Well, Kilmarnock have, I think, made the 6 subs, so
this guy's calves are tight.
Yeah. What's he going to do? Just lie up there?
Well, we've got to do something.
Yeah.
He cannot take a penalty.
No.
He's got to his feet with some help.
So they're now going to be down to 9 men.
I'm not kidding you. I've seen, like, his movement level is -1.
And he's limping towards the touchline. David Watson's off on the far side, so
he needs to go back on.
Dackers
has to go back on.
They're down to 9 men here, and stoppage time at the end of extra time. Come on,
they need to get them back on.
He's stretching
Watson
off,
especially.
He's stretching off on the near touchline. Dackers
he's allowed Watson on. He's allowed Dackers on.
Kilmarnock down to 9, and Dackers limps back on. And now Donnelly, Freckleton, and that's a deep cross, far too deep, and McMenamin's going to do well to keep that in, but he does, and it goes back to King, who smashes it in. Brilliant ball, and Lundulu goes up, heads it down into the turf, and it skips into the arms of Stryek. And come on, it now back up to their full complement. And there'll be moments for the home side at Rugby Park. We've played, we've got 20 seconds left of extra time. Is there going to be a winner? Gogic's ball to Phillips. Freckleton fires it up. Dykesdale's touch to Phillips on halfway. Out to Declan John. Is there going to be one last chance? It needs to be launched probably.
Why are they not getting it forward?
Yeah, as King shifts it with the studs and goes with a switch out to Phillips. Wins the header, bounces in midfield for McKenzie, and now Kilmarnock are breaking here. David Watson.
Don't roll Dackers to the corner.
And he tries to pick out the pass to Anderson, but it's intercepted, and that may well be that. He may well be heading for penalties. Oh, David Dickinson doesn't have the whistle to the lips, so this long throw is going to be taken by Brannan, flings it in towards the injured Dackers. Free kick given, and that will be that. I think we're going to penalties here at Rugby Park, which I suppose in the end is probably fitting. The way this game has gone, it's ebbed and flowed. Momentum has chopped and changed. 2 goals apiece in the 90. And Shamal George, I guess when he boots this long, the referee will blow the whistle. That's exactly what he does. We are heading for penalties in the first of the League Cup quarter-finals after 120 plus minutes. It's still Kilmarnock 2, St Mirren 2.
Well, I went to the cinema this afternoon to watch the Stephen King inspired movie, The Long Walk, and they were all walking like Marcus Dackers was by the end of that film.
It was like 28 days later.
Oh, what a shame, honestly. He can barely move, and as you guys are saying, he can surely not step up to take a penalty in the shootout, because this first League Cup quarter-final of the weekend has gone to penalties after a 2-each draw between these two, a really keenly contested tie. As we knew it would be, it's been as tight as we thought it would be. Twice St Mirren in front through Mandron and Richardson in each half. Dees and Anderson late in the first and second halves, ensuring it went to extra time. And as usual, as normally the case, not too much went on in extra time, other than the muscles tightening up.
Yeah, but I've got to say, I've really enjoyed the game, Liam. Scottish football gets criticised, but you know what, that 90 minutes or 90 odd minutes was excellent. Really good, two teams going at it, goalkeepers making good saves, some brilliant goals as well. It's been a really good first quarter final. Now we're down to the goalkeeper. What goalkeeper's going to be the hero? Where is it going to be held as well? What end are they having it? Which is going to be important. It's going to be an end where all the St Mirren fans are, or an end where there's not many Kilmarnock fans behind that goal. But honestly, it's been a really good, entertaining game.
Yeah, how big a difference is that if you've got your own fans behind the goal? Does it give you that extra drive, or can it be a hindrance? Can it be almost too much pressure?
I'm not overly sure if it makes that much of a difference. I think, when you're stepping up to hit a penalty, you're either really clear in thought and confident, or you're not, regardless of what's behind the goal just merges into the abyss. It's what's happening in between your two ears that counts.
Are we having a bet? Does Dackers take one?
Surely not.
He's walking a little bit better now as he makes his way into the centre circle. It looks as though the penalties are going to be taken off to the Moffat stand end, off to the right. So it's the opposite end of the stadium from where the St Mirren fans are. David Dickinson has the ball in his hand, and we just wait to see.
But you're not going to be put off by what's happening behind that stand, because there's only about 400 people in it.
I've got to say, St Mirren's penalties against Hearts were excellent, really good. To knock Hearts out last round.
They've got that recent experience of that. And I know Kilmarnock obviously had a penalty shootout in the group stage of this tournament, and indeed last time St Mirren were at Hampden, it came by virtue of a penalty shootout success in the quarter-finals of the Scottish Cup. Jim Goodwin had the semis in both tournaments that season. Who will be the first name through to the semis of this season's League Cup? We're going to be finding out in the next 5 or 10 minutes, because here at Rugby Park it is a penalty shootout, Moffat stand end, between Kilmarnock and St Mirren, and Saints are going to take first. Thomas.
Yeah, and it's Richard King who scored a penalty against Annan in the group stage. He scored in the shootout against Hearts. He's a confident boy, steps up, short run up, right footed, and sends the keeper the wrong way, cool as you like, into the bottom corner, and St Mirren start in the best way possible.
What does Anderson do here? Already scored, does he go the same way?
Got to change it, hasn't he? He went right down the middle, didn't he? He's got to change it up for me. But that was a good first penalty from Richard King. It's always good to get the first one in the back of the net.
Yeah, brave keeper to stand still in the middle of the goals.
You would be.
Anderson, same end as he scored the equaliser near the end of the 90. A little stuttered run up and blasts it into the same corner King went for. Keeper no chance, and it's 1-1 in the shootout.
I don't know about no chance. I think he hits it hard enough. I'm not sure how far in the corner it was, but Shamar Jaws guessed right. I think it actually maybe goes kind of underneath him rather than right in the corner, but he hit it with enough power, did Bruce Anderson.
Roland Adowu is next up for St Mirren, also scored in the last 16 against Hearts. And the nervousness, you can feel it around Rugby Park. Place in the League Cup semi-finals at stake. It is the Irishman Adowu. Steps up, right-footed, sends Stryach the wrong way. He went to his right, and Adowu rolls it in to his left, and St Mirren back in front, 2-1.
Cool penalty from Adowu. Real pressure. Camley slots it in the bottom left corner. Stryach going to his right.
Yeah, and Watkins now. Another short run up, again right-footed, and it's more or less down the middle, but it's high, and it's in. And it's 2-2.
Oh, here we go, Donnelly. There's his old club. Wouldn't the home fans love it to miss this one?
Don't you just love a round of booze through your radio? It's
Panto season, early.
Liam Donnelly, he'll have to block all this out. Shootout, finally poised. Big deep breath, and strikes it into the side net, and brilliant penalty. Stryjek barely moved, and St Mirren perfect so far with their 3 spot kicks.
That was pressure against your old club, getting booed off the supporters as you walk up to take it, and that's the best penalty we've had so far. Reverses it into the side net, and really good, confident penalty kick. Thompson now, is he going to be like his first 10 minutes, or what happened after that?
It's the first lefty to take out the 5 that's been taken so far.
We've seen the good and the bad. From
very
Tom
straight
Thompson
run.
Aye, he's got to move, surely.
Very straight run. Now he shuffles to take it left-footed, and another brilliant penalty. Same end as Donnelly. Keeper's right-hand side. Jamal George went to his left, and it's 3-3.
Strong penalty, really good penalty from Thompson.
Thompson over to have a word with him.
And Lundaloo, the bright boots.
Dackers is still stretching off.
He'll be stretching off for the next month.
So,
that calf's gone.
And Lundaloo kisses the ball. 3-3 in the shootout. Still nothing between these two sides. St Mirren's and in Lundaloo up against Matt Stryjek. Takes a breath, walks to the left, stutters, stops and rolls it beyond Stryjek, who got really close to that. It's not a great penalty, and Stryjek will think he could have kept that out, but he didn't. And it's 4-3 St Mirren.
Just telling everybody to calm down there. He was the calmest player in the park.
That run-up had about 17 different moving parts to it, but it goes in the back of the net, and any penalty that does is good in my book.
So, McGuinness now, and that's saved! Jamal George flings himself to the right-hand side, and it's advantage. St Mirren in the shootout, and it's going to be Malik Dijksteel who will step up to try.
Now you've got to feel sorry for Kyle. I mean, he's played against his old club here as well, came through the ranks at St Mirren, and he's hit it well enough, but Jamal George guessed right, and it's a good save, and Dijksteel now.
Dijksteel, he scored against Hearts, scored the last and crucial one against Hearts. Will he do so here again to send St Mirren through in the semi-finals? He does! St Mirren are going to Hampden for just the 3rd time since they lifted this trophy in 2012, and St Mirren fans have run onto the pitch.
This is what you don't want.
From the away end, they've spilled down the stands and they're running on the pitch, and it's rather marring what is a joyous moment for the St Mirren players, team and staff. They've just triumphed against Kilmarnock on penalties, but you don't want to see fans running on the pitch, and they're round the St Mirren players who are jumping and celebrating, but it's a thing we've seen it more and more and more in Scottish football, is these pitch invasions, and sometimes they can be conducted totally harmlessly, but it's not safe. It's not safe for the players, and the stewards are now coming in as more fans run on the AstroTurf, and some of the St Mirren players have managed to move through the crowd to get to the goal where their fans are housed, and many of them have stayed behind the goal in the stands, but there are a few hundreds on the pitch and they are in celebratory mood, but they're better just doing it in the stands. But anyway, it is St Mirren who booked their place in the semi-finals of the League Cup, the first to do so. It was an engrossing, compelling tie, 4 goals shared in the 90 minutes. St Mirren twice led, and they'll be grateful, and after no goals in extra time they were able to keep their composure and yet again score all 5 penalties. McGuinness crucially having his saved by Jamal George, and it means at St Mirren progress to the semi-finals of the Premier Sports Cup. It finished here at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock 2, St Mirren 2. St Mirren progressing 5.